The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. I hope you had a fantastic Valentine's Day, whether you're single or in love. Today is Monday, February 15th. This show begins right now. Shout out to Twine for that beat drop. What's going on in sports, you might ask yourself, on this Monday, February 15th? And we'll tell you it's a lot of drama, a lot of controversy. Is LeBron James ruining the NBA with his flopping? That is our poll today. You can find that at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show in the community tab. It seems as if LeBron's flopping has gone way too far. He's flopping all over the place. The NBA's giving him warnings. Now he's potentially going to get fined while winning the MVP. Is this what NBA MVP basketball is? Ugh. I believe it is. It's very smart. You're taking advantage of the rules, helping your team out, maybe putting the other team into a little bit of trouble, making free throws, moving forward. If you can do it and it helps your team, why not do it? It seems like this is more of a basketball problem as opposed to a LeBron James NBA problem. Just like in soccer with the floppers being rewarded for their teams, you can't blame the player who just so happens to be taking advantage of the rules in the game better than everybody else. Now, if they want to go ahead and get rid of it completely and say, hey, you get caught flopping, you're suspended 4 or 5 games. If they want to take a stern stance, then go ahead and do it, Adam. Go ahead and do it, NBA. But what I'm saying is, you can't blame this guy for being the best player to ever play basketball and taking advantage of the rules that basketball has made him. Hate the game. Don't hate the player.
That's right.
Well said.
Thank you, Foxy.
Well said.
Now, in there, I did say the best player of all time, which automatically leads to an incredible conversation that we could do, like every other sports show, at least 3 times a week if we wanted to get into that.
Jordan, baby.
But the thing about it is, they play 2 different sports. He and Michael Jordan played 2 different sports. Michael Jordan revolutionized the game, changed the game, but what LeBron's playing now is much different than the basketball vote. We found that out on The Last Dance. And everybody's going to say, Michael Jordan ain't never flopping. Well, that's because they were throwing literal clotheslines at people back then. Much different game. LeBron couldn't have played back then. You're telling me the guy that's taller than the people that were doing the bullying, has a bigger body than the people that were doing the bullying, that LeBron James is faster than the people that were doing the bullying? You're telling me he couldn't have adjusted his big-ass body to take a clothesline or 2? You are wrong. Imagine this man with a clothesline from hell like he's JBL in WWE back in the day. So I'm tired of that whole conversation. I think Michael Jordan would crush it today, just like he did crush it back then. I think LeBron would do the exact same if he went back there. That just never gets talked about. This guy's taking advantage of all the rules, playing how he's got to play, and he's going to win the MVP. And if Anthony Davis's Achilles can stop being his Achilles.
Yes. Yes.
That was pretty good sports talk stuff right there.
Yeah.
Look for the Lakers to run it back. Speaking of running it back, Dak Prescott said on his Instagram, after a post from his tight end named
Blake Jarwin.
Would have never guessed Blake. I knew Jarwin, would have never, ever guessed. Blake Jarwin, tight end for the Cowboys, puts a post on Instagram and says, @Dak_4, how about we run it back? Then Dak puts on his Instagram story, because Instagram makes it damn near impossible to really be able to spread anybody else's accounts or messages, a la what Twitter can do with retweet, which helps your platform grow and everything like that. Instagram, although they brought in the Instagram story, sharing posts, not that easy, okay? They used to have an app that would screenshot things and copy and paste for you. That's something they got to figure out. But I like the Instagram story share, which is what Dak did, and said, that's the only way I see it, to our pal, Blake Jarwin. But it's interesting. He says, that's the only way I see it. Who else is in that conversation? That's the only way Jerry and I see it? Or that's the only way the Cowboys and I see it? Or is that's the only way I see it? And by the way, Tad Prescott, Dak's brother, is probably going to come out and have a little something, little explanation on this. Yep. Everybody's wondering, is Dak going to get extended finally with the Dallas Cowboys? A man who got drafted late, took over a starting job from Tony Romo, retired him, had him make $17 million a year calling games, forget how to call games in an entertaining rate. All that has happened, and Dak still has not been paid yet. Tony Romo was paid by the Cowboys and by CBS in the exact same time that Dak has not been. He got franchise tagged, made a lot of money. Will he get franchise tagged again after one of the most gruesome injuries of all time? That is going to be TBD. It seems like Dak wants to be a Cowboy, but does Jerry want Dak to be a Cowboy? Always said that he was. Always said that he sees him as the future of the franchise. Always says that his hands don't get cramps writing checks. He paid everybody on that team, but Dak Prescott, the long-term deal. Will he be in the free agency market? How will that look for Dak alongside Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, Carson Wentz, Jacoby Brissett, Derek Carr potentially, Marcus Mariota? There's a lot of quarterbacks out there with Dak be at him. That's not the way he sees it. Well, the Cowboys see it the same way. There's a bunch of other drama as well, including a Raiders fan account, blog account coming after us. This show all weekend.
What? Excuse me?
This show was attacked by, I believe, Cody from the Raiders.
Okay.
Cody.
Now, they write blogs. They use names of dead people as the people that signed it. Classic serial killer, but I've been watching a lot of detective work. We've been snooping around. It's potentially JT the Brick, too.
Could be.
Potentially JT the Brick, but we've been snooping around, and the Raiders fans are coming at, by the way, for good reason. If I was a Raiders fan, I would want Derek Carr to be thought of as a very good quarterback by everybody as well. I mean, you got a chance to ride the wave when the Raiders were in Oakland. Derek Carr was on his come up. Here we go. Then I watched his leg get broken on Christmas Eve in an MVP season, and it was a bummer because Derek Carr, really cool guy, becoming a great player, and the Raiders were becoming relevant again. Holy shit, here we go. Since then, team has moved out of town. Now they're in Las Vegas, and it seems like Derek Carr is not going to be the guy for John Gruden long term. And what we had to do after he hurts himself, where it looks like his groin got ripped out of his body. Yeah. You remember that? He was scrolling. He was strolling and scrolling the field to the right there, running. Primetime game against the Los Angeles Chargers. And all of a sudden it looked like there was a potential, because there's no fans in there. It looked like there was a sniper up on top of the thing. Yeah. And instead of shooting him in the hamstring, which is normally, they got him right in the groin. Instead, boom. Pow, he pulls up, actually does this, throws it away, jogs into the sideline. Then he does an entire Jared Leto from the Little Things walk. Okay. Shout out, big weekend of watching stuff. He walks all the way back. Marcus Mariota comes in. Great game.
Oh, yeah.
Marcus Mariota comes in. They end up losing by 3 in overtime. Insane game. The next day, that game was on December 17th. On December 18th, we had to have a conversation about Derek Carr. We don't talk about Derek Carr that much, okay? That's not really something we do. I have a lot of respect for what Derek Carr was. But on December 17th, we see a guy who's already been paid $100-some million with no money guaranteed left on his contract, and it seems like a sniper shot him right in his groin somehow. Missed the ball, hit the groin, maybe a hip flexor, pop. We had to have a conversation. And this is how the conversation went the day after that game. Derek Carr, by the way, you're never going to see him in a Raiders jersey again.
Probably not.
Hell of a run.
Yeah.
Hell of a run.
Good career.
Good career.
Well, he's going to be a backup for a long, long time. He's going to be a journeyman in the NFL. So his starting career was fantastic.
He is going to be a backup for at least the next year or two, I'd assume, after everything that's gone on. Okay, so everything that had gone, Connor took a lot of shots, okay? Connor's a little Boston stooge, okay? He ended up playing the next week, which none of us could have expected, okay? None of us could have known that whenever we were having that conversation. Marcus Mariota had just had the biggest game of all time. We thought potentially Marcus Mariota, who got Tannehilled, Derek Carr whenever he got in the chance to play. Instead, something happened with God, the groin, and the hip flexor. What made him come out of a very close divisional game on prime time was healed in about a week and a half. He's playing again the next week. Then things go forward. So we're getting the clip from The day after it looks like his season is ending, he's potentially going in for surgery, and they're saying this is how they were talking about Derek Carr. Hey, Raiders beat. Okay, I get it. Okay, I get what you did there. And then me acknowledging that Derek Carr is potentially going to be an Indianapolis Colts quarterback. And by the way, that would make the guy who said that he's going to be a career journeyman, Boston Connor, very happy. Actually, if that was to happen, would that not make you thrilled?
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's go and let the Colts stink is basically how he's thinking. And I'm not saying that, by the way. I'm not saying it. But now that you know that the dead cap space for Derek Carr for the Raiders is only like $2 million if they trade him or cut him, he's probably not going to be a Raider anymore, if I had to guess. If he is going to get traded like people are saying Marcus Mariota, we are a team that's in the market. If we end up with Derek Carr as quarterback here, will I be pumped about it? Not as pumped as I would be about like 4 other fucking guys, but I would be excited about Derek Carr. You can't compare the day after we were talking about a guy potentially dying and his leg falling off, made him out of a primetime game against the division, to what we were saying last week after Matthew Stafford's already gone, Russell Wilson's potentially on there now. I mean, there's a lot of shit popping off. So what I would like to tell Raiders beat, I think it's either Cody or anybody else over there, you fucking suck. Okay, I fucking hate you. You're the worst part of the internet, and we will continue to give the Raiders zero coverage because y'all motherfuckers don't matter. Now, with that being said, love Darren Waller. Okay, wish he would come to the Colts. I wish that'd be a package deal that I'm hearing maybe quarterback tight end coming to a team. Wish that would happen out of Oakland. Save Darren Waller from this shitty fan base that has Cody from the Raiders involved in it, and then get him over here. That's how I feel. But I was getting tweets all weekend from these motherfuckers. All weekend. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to learn about Elisa Lamb, okay, over there in the Cecil Hotel. I'm trying to learn about the little things with Denzel Washington and Jared Leto and that guy that played that guy that sang really good.
Freddie.
I'm trying to learn about Britney Spears. Jesus, by the way.
Come on.
That was alarming.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to take it. And I'm trying to learn about the Silversmith's daughter, who somehow feels like Tom Brady owes fucking her an apology. So I'm trying to figure that out. I got these Raiders people attacking me all weekend. It's like, hey, we're all friends here until we're not. We're not anymore, okay? I hope you all eat shit. That's how I feel about it. Anyways, Adam Cole's a scumbag. Knew it all along. Let's have a hell of a Monday. At Tone Diggs, how you doing, pal?
I mean, it sucks to be you because, I mean, if you go back, and which no one would ever do to us, I have been saying just terrible things about the play of Dewey Haskins for years. But now that he's a Pittsburgh Steelers, he's going to be the next best thing. Yeah. But that happens to you, and that stinks.
I didn't say that. That was Connor saying he's going to be a journeyman.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it wasn't even
scumbags.
you.
I got the amount of this fucking clown punter he can't do. Fuck you. Okay. By the way, Shane Leckler, Ray Guy, these are some of the greatest punters of all time. Raiders. Are you just saying Shane Leckler? Oh, just a punter. Fuck you. Okay. And I think it's Cody. I do believe it's Cody. Maybe it's JT the Brick. I'm not 100% sure. Never liked him. He never liked us. He has a show on at 1 a.m. here on this channel. So it's, there's just an interesting thing going on with that entire operation over there.
By the way, you said it. That was after a Week 14 game, and it looked like he may never play a game ever again in the NFL the way that he reacted to that groin.
Now, I'm not going to bury him. But they were in a playoff hunt.
Yeah.
7-7.
Primetime game. Division. He's out, I assume, because I had respect for Derek Carr, which I still do, by the way, still have respect for him. But in the moment, thought he was dead. I thought Derek Carr was dead. I thought he was done for. And I said he'd be a backup for a year or two. Who's going to pay a guy, Derek Carr, to be a starter whenever they just saw his leg potentially get popped off in the middle of a game in Week 14? That just seems to be the natural trend. I still feel good about what I said. And I responded to their tweets, by the way, with just the
taking notes.
Nope. Yeah, like, hey, I will.
Marking you down.
This is for me to go back through my Twitter account. What did I tweet about? That's what I watched this weekend. Who did I respond to? That's who I hate. Okay, that's what I did that strictly for me. So, I mean, I don't hate them. I do kind of, though. That is a bad part of the internet there. You know what I mean? Now, granted, people would say we are as well. No. So it's kind of a balance, this whole thing.
No.
At Boston Connor, it seemed like nobody was really attacking you in that entire video, but Seems like you're the one really taking shots at Derek Carr more than anybody else.
I wish I saw this before. What did I say? He's had a hell of a starting career, and he's going to be a journeyman in the NFL. Is that a bad thing all of a sudden? Fitzmagic's a journeyman. He's one of the best quarterbacks of all time.
You said his starting career is over, though. Fitz is still starting at this for 37 years of age.
Well, Fitz he had to back up last year, and, Derek Carr might have to back up for a little too. What's wrong with that?
No, I agree with what you said. Secondly, that's why I did the little write-down thing. So whenever this does potentially happen, let's go ahead and talk about it. But them talking about us changing our narrative, I feel like you've had your same narrative. I've had my same narrative. Yeah. And if he ends up as an Indianapolis Colt, okay, we need a goddamn quarterback. I would want Derek, by the way, more than Carson. Yeah. Just strictly because of the money. I believe the money owed is much different between those two. But it seems like anybody could potentially be the Colts quarterback, including Russell Wilson at Ty Schmidt. Russell Wilson potentially moving up near you in Indiana. Maybe your next door neighbor, Sierra. Ooh. Russell, Future, the other baby.
Yep.
Ty. Caitlin have a hell of a time together up there now.
I would love that. I said, hey, if Russell Wilson actually orchestrates his way out of Seattle, I will turn the corner on Russell Wilson because he's not a robot anymore. He's saying, hey, listen, you know what? My O-line fucking stinks. It has the entire time I've been here, and I'm sick of it. I don't want to say go Hawks anymore. Maybe it's go Horse or go Colts or whatever the hell they say.
Go Colts.
Go Colts.
Go Horse.
Go Colts.
Go Horse.
That was a hashtag.
Go for the shoe.
For the shoe.
For the shoe.
There it was. There it was.
For the shoe. Let's
go.
I'll be excited to see where these quarterbacks go. Russell Wilson potentially being on the market is insane. I would assume a lot of people are calling up there to see how they could get him to their team. That's the type of guy where you would give absurd amount of things. If you think he's the missing piece, let's go ahead and get him in here no matter what. You're kind of selling out the future, but you could figure out the draft picks later if you have to get it. Russell Wilson's a game changer. Imagine him with that Colts offensive line. Imagine him, by the way, going to New York. What if he was a Jet?
Damn.
Russell Wilson in New York would be – now, he's not going to a better team there.
No.
He's not going – any team that's looking for a quarterback, by the way, probably not a better team except for the Colts. It's the only position that Russell Wilson could potentially.
If he actually is available, do you think he supersedes Deshaun Watson? Like teams will definitely go after him, and more so than they would Deshaun Watson.
I think so.
I do too.
I think so because he's already won it.
Yeah.
And I think that is why. Now, what is the money guaranteed? That's what you have to look at immediately following that statement is what they're both going to be a king's ransom to get.
Right. Yeah.
It's going to take a lot. Now, granted, allegedly the Eagles, allegedly, we talked about this last week, Ron Jaworski, who I have met and is a very nice guy. He was very nice to me and Foxy whenever we met him down at the draft last year in Tennessee. Very nice. Incredibly nice. Right. He came out and said that his sources are saying that the Eagles have been offered a couple seconds and maybe a third or another third down the road. Then it came out that potentially Ertz is also in the trade package. So you get Carson, Ertz, and then in return you get a couple picks or whatever. The Eagles are allegedly waiting for at least a first-round pick. I would assume Deshaun Watson and Russell Wilson would go for more than Matthew Stafford went for, which is 2 firsts and a future third or whatever. So let's go ahead and go at least 3 firsts are probably going to be needed. And then you have to start looking at teams that have all their firsts to give up in this whole thing. It's going to be very interesting to see how any of it plays out. But I think quarterbacks are moving. Now, that might be just me thinking optimistically, strictly because when we woke up this morning, there's really nothing to talk about.
Right.
So a quarterback move would be incredible for us very, very selfishly. It would be. But now you got Marcus Mariota potentially on trade block.
Here we go.
Yeah. What's he going to go for? What does Derek Carr go for? No money really owed, I don't think, to Derek Carr. You could potentially cut that guy, I guess, if you trade him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's only $2 million or something like that. Dead cap. So that would be what? Not that anybody would. Not that anybody would. I'm just saying everything that comes alongside all these players is what you have to look at.
Gruden would. Gruden's the one that's been shopping him. I don't know why we're taking all the heat.
Well, Gruden also is paid $100 and some million to rebuild that team. Yeah. Do you think a 10-year deal with 3 years not going to the playoffs with one particular quarterback, you think Gruden's going to take the heat or the quarterback's going to take the heat? Now, I'm not saying it. I'm just telling you about the world that we currently live in. And I like the fact that Raiders fans are diehard behind Derek Carr, by the way. I do like that fact. I do. But just know there's probably going to be another quarterback playing for you guys next year, just like he paid who? Peterman?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Which makes sense.
$1 million.
Throws the most catchable football in the NFL.
Yeah, what are you, 4 picks in one half? By the way, that was a rough start. Okay, I think pretty bad go of it there, that first game. But he'll be able to turn back around. Zito, how's the poll looking for the day? We have to get to a break. First time guest coming on the other side.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is LeBron ruined the NBA with flopping? No, 33%. Yes, 67%.
Come on.
67% of the 56,000 votes is saying
voted
that
yes.
LeBron is ruining
Crybaby.
the NBA with his flopping. I want to let you know, Zito might have voted yes, but the show account voted no.
Thank you. Fade Fox.
No problem. Thank you, Fox.
Braun also set another record this past weekend. All-time leader in turnovers.
Turnovers?
Yeah.
Do they count playoff turnovers as well?
I don't know.
Because the guy had 49 more games than anybody else every single year for 11 years.
Would make sense if they counted that, because Karl Malone was the one who he passed, who also played a couple seasons in the
Yeah, I mean, any stat can kind of paint a picture, but then you can also start prodding at it and kind of paint a different one if you'd like to. If you want to go ahead and take a happy accent with Bob Ross and just kind of go over that thing.
That's what happens when you play for a long time, and you have the ball in your hands 43 minutes a game. You're going to turn it over a couple times.
And what, he made the finals every year for 8 years straight
Oh
or
yeah,
something like that.
8 straight finals.
He's so good.
Yeah.
Not saying Jordan isn't.
Couldn't capitalize, though.
Okay. I'm not sure LeBron's NASCAR team will be able to compete like Jordan's NASCAR team is currently competing. No way.
They look good.
But
last
maybe
night.
down the road, we'll see. By the way, congrats to Mitch McConnell winning the Daytona 5. Daytona 500. I bet on Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch plus 1,500 odds.
Tasty.
I would have won 3,500 if Kyle Busch wins that thing.
Damn.
He gets crashed out by some stooge in the last lap there. He survived the first battering ram that came through and took out 16 cars, I think, or 15 cars. Then there was an 8-hour delay because of weather in Florida. And then all of a sudden, Kyle Busch is back. Denny Hamlin was running a hell of a race.
He was.
Denny Hamlin was running a hell of a race.
They had that thing fast.
Oh,
last
my
night.
God, it was a quick car. They said they actually... Now, listen, because he's won the past 2 years in a
Yeah.
row. He would have been the first ever to win 3 straight.
That's right.
Wow.
Do you know Denny Hamlin potentially could have made Daytona 500 history yesterday if he would have won for 3 straight times? Do you know that?
No.
Denny Hamlin says whenever they show up down there at Daytona, first race of the year, it's the biggest race. They're very comfortable in the car. From what they did last year, the year before that, they just put that bitch to Daytona setting, and it comes all the way back. Might not be the fastest car, but it's the most durable, steady, consistent vehicle on the road.
That's what it's all about.
Until fucking Mitch McConnell hits that thing slingshot after an absolute catastrophe of a last lap at about 1:30 a.m. Last night, if you watched the Daytona, it was late night. A dude's car was on fire, okay? He drives into pit lane. Fire people are trying to put it out. This fire is fucking durable.
Yeah.
Good job.
Sturdy.
Just keeps coming back. They said it was potentially a wheel bearing was on fire or whatever. They put it out for half a second. The Santa Claus, when the turkey's in there and the fire goes out, they put the fire out for half a second or whatever. He tells his pit crew person, I won't go back out. Goes back out, fire starts. Car's back on fire. He hits the brakes. Shit goes through the floor. He has no brakes. Car's on fire. Driving around Daytona 500. About 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. What a life. Maniacs, all of them.
Why the hell is he hitting the brakes too?
Well, why is anybody telling him to go back out there when your car is still on fire? There was a fire person that was blowing it and they pulled off. It was like, well, you're going to be right back here.
Yeah.
I hope you make it back here, pal.
That's what I saw a video this morning of 6 cars going up in flames. I was like, that's weird. I
that's
didn't hear
Daytona,
that
baby.
6 guys died yesterday at Daytona, but apparently they did not.
Mitch McConnell, the guy that did win years ago, 2007, 2008, he had a horrific
Those crashes.
crash that he
news.
survived. He now becomes a Daytona 500 winner before Kyle Busch somehow.
I'd like to, because we recorded Hammered Down earlier, and I did say Mitch McConnell was the winner. It wasn't. It was Michael McDowell. Mitch McConnell happens to be a U.S. Senator, I believe. So I apologize for putting that name in your head.
You fucking grew up on Daytona.
Yeah, you did.
I can tell you, yeah. I grew
Diggs-
up on the Rainbow Warrior.
He's calling races
And
now. Him and Clint Boyer in there.
Yeah, and Earnhardt, okay? Not Mitch McDowell.
Listen, I will let you know that Mitch McDowell's story is an incredible one.
Yeah.
He's been around a long time.
I mean, if Mark Martin was out there, I wouldn't have got his name wrong.
Well, I just want to let you know, Clint Boyer, electric on the microphone.
Yeah.
Electric. They're doing it right over there. Now, they had to fill like 3 hours of dead time, and then they had to come back. I don't know how. They must have all got naps or did an energy drink or cocaine. We got to get to a break.
I saw one guy went to the drive-thru to get food.
In his car? Probably that
car.
same fucking guy that drove on fire. That dude has no care
He's still driving.
at all for his body. This dude was just fucking went right back out there. It's like they did not fix that. There wasn't even like a nothing. Just fucking right back out there.
What a weapon.
Just wants to win.
Sorry
Need a jersey.
to the Daytona 500 winner named
Michael McDowell.
Michael. It's not even Mitch. Jesus Christ.
Tony.
I didn't even know that guy was in the race. Nobody did. Okay, that thing finished at 1:30 a.m.
Yeah.
How was I supposed to know? I got a guy who says he lives and dies with Daytona. Diggs. Diggs, Coach Diggs, Mama Diggs. You should just sit down in the basement and watch Daytona and NASCAR. He's supposed to be our NASCAR expert.
Yeah.
When he comes flying in with Mitch McConnell, how am I supposed to know any different? That's on me. I got to do better research.
You didn't think it was odd that the winner of the Daytona 500 happened to have the same name as the former Speaker of the House?
First of all,
I didn't know that.
did not know what you just said. Former Speaker of the House? He doesn't speak anymore at the House?
Majority, minority, I don't know. I don't know all
He
that.
just doesn't speak anymore.
They should raise those people.
I mean, to be clear, though, I have said numerous times, Mitchell McConnell, Mitchell McDowell, Mike McDonald's, you might as well just put them all into a hat. I don't know much about that word. I think my life is much better for it. On the other side, joining us 2 minutes ago, we have to get to a break. Kyle Long of the Chicago Bears, a man who I have spent time with, hung out with before, partook in off-field activities alongside, but he has never been on the show. Cannot wait to chat with him. I think he's also a NASCAR tie-in. We'll ask him about Mitch McDowell winning the Daytona. They're putting dirt on Bristol.
Here we
They're putting
go.
dirt down on Bristol. Bristol's becoming a dirt track. And I'm not talking about sprint car racing, because I know a lot of people are thinking I don't know much about racing. Child, please, I live in Indianapolis. Oh, yeah. We gotta get to a break. It's Pat McAfee Show. This show sucks, dude. Not just stinks. Sucks. See you on the other side.
Let's do Fade Foxy. I'm not seeing any national NBA games that are on TV, so I don't think you're
you did
going
exactly
there.
what I did. Yeah, I looked at the NBA slate. No national games. I don't know how that happens.
Oh, but there is a top 20 matchup on ESPN. The only national game tonight, Virginia at Florida State.
Here we
Virginia-
go.
Foxy.
My first college basketball pick.
Let's do it.
We got Virginia against Florida State. Virginia's an underdog.
God,
Take that money line plus 105.
Hold on. What's going on? Who are we betting on? Florida State?
No.
Take
Virginia
Virginia
getting
money
1.5
line. They're
at
dogs.
Florida
They're getting
State.
1.5.
Yeah, but I just like the money
Gumpy
line.
and I were both
I
on
mean,
Virginia.
Virginia 4-1-1 against the spread their last 6 road
Attaboy,
games.
Fox.
Yeah, good pick.
Attaboy, Foxy.
5-2 against the spread their last 7 as a road
That's a
dog.
Foxy bomb.
And the underdog in this matchup is 5-2 against the spread last 7.
Foxy
I
bomb.
can't
Let's
believe
go.
this
Foxy bombs.
That was my pick of the night.
Gump's on
Yeah,
it.
that's Gump. That's Foxy's pick of the night, too.
Toad, are you on it too?
I am.
Yeah. All aboard. Choo-choo. The Foxy train is leaving the station.
Which now I'm.
Leaving the station. Welcome aboard, boys. Woo.
Now it's
The
just.
train is fine. We've been winning over here.
Virginia's a really good team, and they're getting points, and they're on the road,
Yeah.
and they're not bad on the road. But now that's a red flag, and there's another red flag because they're getting 60% of the money, but they win from a pick 'em,
They
and they're
just put
potentially
in a
going to
rather
go. To,
large bet. Make it 65% of the money if I
I
do.
mean,
Hey, that's a household name. You gotta
Virginia,
take him tonight.
Virginia on Mondays too.
oh, on Mondays.
21-7-1 against the spread their last
Good
20.
Monday.
Come out of the weekend, boys.
Wow.
They fucking lock it down. They don't go out at all.
I
Mondays,
can't
they are
believe
ready.
They
this
love Monday.
Hey, who loves Mondays? Gary V, Virginia basketball
Cavs
team.
do. Virginia Cavs love Mondays.
Yeah, love it. Let's go. So do me and Foxy. And Gumpy. And Diggs. Let's go.
All right, the train's leaving.
See you, Foxy.
Look, I don't understand the whole legal gambling thing. I've been gambling illegally my whole life. I don't get what you mean by FanDuel Sportsbook.
Dude, illegal gambling is done. It stinks. Legal gambling is the greatest thing of all time. FanDuel Sportsbook has so many good bets. They even refund bets that they think didn't deserve to lose. They got all the spreads. They got same game parlays. You have to start gambling on FanDuel Sportsbook if you're in a legal state. And that's not the only thing. They make it so easy to withdraw and deposit money. You can just link your bank, deposit whatever you want, withdraw whatever you want, whenever you want.
Yes,
I mean, this
please.
truly is the greatest sports gambling app out there.
He's right about the banking. It is the greatest, but you really don't understand the bets that this sports book has. They have in-game bets. They have in-game parlays, and he said it, but I'm going to say it again. The odds at this place are the best, and once you download FanDuel Sportsbook, we are going to take all of their money. All of their money. Right? 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 FanDuel! 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 FanDuel!
This is the Pat McAfee Show on Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. We thank you for taking the time to seek out this small regional show that streams internationally. Here's Pat and the boys.
Thank you for that voice of Sirius there. It's very nice of her. Welcome back to said show. Today is brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped.com/Pat if you're looking to get an incredible deal on the greatest manscaping stuff of all time.
Oh, yeah.
I'd read a full ad, but we don't have time because we've already wasted this guy's time. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, former Chicago Bear All-Pro Pro Bowler, stud, offensive lineman, Kyle Long.
Yeah!
What are you doing, bud?
What's going on, boys?
Hey, you're cold. You're in a cold place. I didn't know you were going to be in a cold place. I thought you would be in Cali.
It's snowy out. It's snowy out there. I'm in Central Virginia. I just got home from the dentist. I can only feel half my face anyway. The cold is not helping.
Did you have cavities?
Dude, I had all kind of stuff. You know how the NFL is. You show up to the dentist that they provide in the training room. They're kind of like, all your teeth are there. You clearly dip. Come see me next year.
Come see me next.
And then when I got out of the league, my dad was like, first thing you need to do, you're on TV now. Go see a dentist. You need to take care of your teeth. That's huge for TV.
And your dad basically just buried your grill set there. That's kind of rude. I'm happy you're
You know what I said? I got my genetics from you, asshole.
What have you been doing? We saw you on CBS, crushed it, by the way. I think you're very good on television. I wish you would do it more. Were you guaranteed to get into TV because your dad and brother and everybody, or is it a decision?
Nepotism plays a massive role in my success across all fields of competition. So, got into the NFL based on a last name, obviously. And the media gig, I grew up on a studio. I grew up in a studio. Not in all seriousness, Pat, I appreciate it, and I reciprocate those comments. I love watching you. You are in your honey hole here doing the media gig. You and all your boys have so much fun, I got to say. CBS Sports offered me a gig to do a pregame before their big pregame. It's Tops, that other pregame show, and Adam Shine's the host. He's great, and I realize more and more as I do it how much respect I have for folks who have made a lifelong career in media. So much studying, so much being on top of your game, which is why I'm like on the fence about it. Like, you could look stupid real quick.
I got attacked by Raiders fans this weekend because we gave a take on Derek Carr's starting career potentially being over after that Thursday night game where it looked like his hip flexor groin got sniped out from the middle of that thing. Thought he was potentially done. Mariota comes in. Now he's potentially a Colt. Let's talk about the quarterback carousel that's potentially happening here, Kyle. Now, whenever you left Chicago, I don't remember all the ins and outs, but it was your decision, right? Definitely still could have played or no?
I ended as a terrible, salty, injured guy who actually, coincidence or not, I had the hip flexor groin that we're talking about with Carr. So when Carr had that, I had the same thoughts that you did. Like, this stuff is tough. You can't get outside the pocket, which in today's game, they tore the statues down in 2020. They're going to do it in the NFL in the quarterback pocket pretty soon. No more standing still. And if you have a hip flexor or a groin, as you know, that's awful. It's debilitating. And I thought obviously Mariota was doing well. He was balling, making the most of it. And I played for Marcus at Oregon, so I'd love to see him have an opportunity somewhere. Maybe Chicago. Who knows? Derek Carr. I think you've talked about this at length. He's less expensive than Carson Wentz. I just don't know if I'm ready to pull the trigger on Carson Wentz yet.
What do you think how do you feel about these guys, though? Like Carson Wentz's situation is a little bit different. He is kind of asking to be released or whatever after the head coach was fired, but they went their separate ways because of philosophy differences. But they're the ones that drafted Jalen Hurts, and they hire Jalen Hurts' friend as a quarterback coach, basically. Yeah. They're kind of forcing Carson. It's very interesting, but put Carson aside. Let's go Deshaun. Let's go potentially Russell. Let's go with these, Matthew Stafford, massive names. Quarterbacks are like, you know what? I'm going to go try to get to a place that wants to win. How do you feel about that, Kyle? How do you feel about that whole mindset?
Well, let's just run down the list then. I'll start with Matt Stafford because that's the one you finished on. I'm so happy for Matt Stafford.
Me too.
I can't imagine being a guy with his skill set, being in Detroit for all that time, not having the cavalry show up. The reinforcements never arrived.
Ever.
He's been through multiple regimes, multiple injuries, played through multiple injuries. He'll get an opportunity to go to a tremendous market with a team that's ready to win now, as you know. A lot of tough guys to block on that defense, a lot of tough guys to cover on that offense. The offensive line is predicated on the running game. Matt Stafford will have every opportunity to shine there. Let's talk about Russell. Russell's a guy that is, he could set your clock to the Russell Wilson-led Seahawks over the last decade. He's a guy that you forget about because he's so damn good, and he overcomes so many obstacles that we're unaware of because of his skill sets. You look at his ability to get outside the rush, continue plays with his feet, and then make the throw with his arms. It reminds me a lot of a guy number 15 in Kansas City, if we're going to be honest. Him having an opportunity to go somewhere is franchise changing. If he wants out and he wants a fresh start, as an NFL fan, I say, God dog, let him out of there.
Yeah.
Let him go where he wants to go, man. Russell Wilson's great for the NFL. You think Patrick Mahomes is great for the NFL? He is. Russell Wilson has been great for the NFL. Give him what he wants.
So you're on the side of if guys want to go to a place, because now the NBA was like this for a long time. You have teams that, hey, this team is trying to win right now. And it kind of built, I think LeBron going to Miami obviously expedited the whole process, but it kind of became this thing where teams like super teams are almost being made. In the NFL now, the Rams gave it a go whenever Goff was on his rookie contract. They're bringing people in. Now you see what the Bucks are doing. I assume that this is potentially going to be the way of the future here with guys choosing where they want to go. Don't you think?
There's absolutely going to be two trains of thought as a upstairs type guy, Pat. And I think
we're big upstairs guys.
The one way is absolutely what you're saying. Let's load up. Let's make it a sexy place to play. Let's dump money into our, free agency and all that stuff and get all the right guys here. Or you can take a page out of the Brian Flores book, and this book may change next year because they went and they tanked for Tua. They got Tua. Fitzpatrick balled out. Now there's question marks even in that locker room. My thought is you can still build your franchise from the ground up, and that may be a more sustainable option. The question marks revolving around the Rams roster, et cetera, are if they don't win now, are they going to hit the Mount Everest slope downward?
Oh, you're talking about.
And that's no good. We watched St. Louis for a very long time, and they were in that boat, and it could be there with the LA Rams.
Intriguing whenever you go all in and then it doesn't work. That'll be something that we'll obviously see more of as more teams choose to go all in. We're talking to Kyle Long, legendary offensive lineman for the Chicago Bears for a long time. Now your story, you were a baseball player, right? Much better baseball player than you were offensive lineman?
Well, I started playing O-line because my younger brother took the varsity quarterback job at the high school. So I started playing in my 10th grade year, and we won state that year. It was a lot of fun. Played both sides of the ball. Didn't play. I wasn't a core teams guy. I apologize.
That's a shame.
I couldn't do kickoff return. Just couldn't do it. Didn't punt much though. You wouldn't have had much action. So played baseball too. loved baseball from a very young age. It's what separated me from Chris, who, as you know, was, number 2 pick. Everybody's All-American, looks like G.I. Joe. I was like, I'm going to do my own thing. And
Smart.
Went and played baseball, went to Florida State. That was a damn good time, by the way. I was there for summer semester, summer bridge, and fall. There you go, Lefty. Open up the stand. See that thing coming in hot. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like Ichiro in there, you know what I mean? That's what they say.
Well, hey, I went to Florida State, Pat, and let me just say, it probably was a lot like West Virginia in that it's just a damn good time. People are great folks. They love it. They got a little bit of an elbow problem, but it's not a problem.
Okay. Got you. And how that failed miserably? How'd you end up in Oregon? Then you just transferred over there?
Well, it didn't fail. You fail upwards sometimes. Your boy, I had to switch states, coasts, sports, lives, essentially. Went to junior college at Saddleback College in Orange County. I was working at a Jack Surfboards building Sector 9s. Ooh. And the football coach was like, "Why are you here? Who are you?" And I was like, "You don't want to know why I'm here, bro." He got me out there to the school, played 2 years, got a scholarship to Oregon, and started 4 or 5 games and ended up playing for the Bears. Had a damn good time of it. Now we're here chatting it up. I remember sitting on the lawn at the Pro Bowl waiting for people to show up with you, and we were just shooting the shit. My rookie year. It seems like yesterday.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You made the Pro Bowl as a rookie. It was like, okay, this guy, Quentin Nelson, basically, I guess, is the newest form of Kyle Long. But you made it like your first 3. It was just like, oh, my God, this guy arrived, played baseball, had the time of his life, plays at Oregon for a little bit, gets all the Nike swag, I had to assume. Mm-hmm. All of the Nike swag at Oregon, I guess. Good for you, by the way.
I got some right now.
Yeah. Oh.
My brother always gives me shit. He's like, "Dude, you were there for 6 weeks. Like, drop the gig."
Is he Adidas or is he a Nike as well?
I don't know. I think he's I'm not really sure. I think he's like a Merrill guy. He likes, he's a big hiker guy.
He does. He loves water boys. They climb that fucking mountain every year, dude. Every year.
Unbelievable, dude.
Have you ever done it?
I find the biggest hill in Call of Duty and I just sprint up it. Hey, by the way, Pat, I know you're a big gamer now, and I know you're into the VR stuff.
Thank you. Thanks for following.
I think another thing that you should give a shot because NASCAR season, Daytona 500 just happened, is the iRacing thing. It's a simulation. It's a great gig. You can wear your little VR goggles. You can sweat it up. But if you want to get a feel for what those Daytona drivers are going through last night, put the VR goggles on, hit up one of your buddies with iRacing, and get in the cockpit.
I believe we have one coming to the office. From what I've been told, we potentially have one on the way. It's expensive, like $35,000 or something for like a really good one or whatever. I'm getting in there. You have a NASCAR deal, right? You were doing a show with NASCAR. You did the racing. Has that always been something you've enjoyed, or how?
I've enjoyed NASCAR a lot. I got hurt in 2015, season-ending ankle injury, and I needed something to immerse myself in because, as you said, football was everything for me. It was like success, and then it was a massive injury. I needed something. So my buddy said, let's watch NASCAR. I got into it. My buddy JR was like, hey, we play this game. It's more of a sim. It's really serious. If you like NASCAR, you should get into this. So I did it. And 4 years later, I had a TV show last year with NASCAR. My buddy JR owns Mode Motorsports. They're in the eNASCAR iRacing series. And yeah, we enjoy it. It's a lot of fun.
Did you watch last night? Big Mitch McDowell?
Dude, you know what? Yeah. He hit the Pat McAfee punt on Brad Keselowski on that last lap. It was, it was all Fords at the front, sprinkle in a couple Chevys and Toyotas behind, but it was just like a Ford race there, and then all of a sudden all hell breaks loose. Daytona, man, it's great.
Daytona is something that you have to wait around all day for. The weather comes through, and they ain't canceling it. And then when the cars get back on the track, they say, hey, we're going to have a winner tonight, regardless of what happens. That thing ended like 12:30, 1 a.m. I was asleep for sure. I woke up this morning, saw old Mitch won for the first time in 370 races. That guy, he's been grinding in the cockpit there for a long time. I did not know Keselowski was the guy that he passed. I had money on Kyle Busch, KY, my guy. That's who I was betting.
Yep. Kyle Busch is my favorite driver, man. He's what the sport needs more of. There's a lot of great guys: Chase Elliott, Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano. These are all big names, but Kyle Busch, everybody needs a heel, bro. everybody needs a heel. And to share a name with one of the greatest wheelmen in the history of NASCAR, it's pretty cool. Get to root for the old Candyman.
He and I had Candyman. Oh, because the M&Ms. By the way, his pit crew, all different colors, as if they are. Ooh. Yeah, it is color suits. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
The whole thing. KY and I, that's his name whenever he gets going, by the way, KY. He and I had Steak and Shake, I think like 3, 4 a.m. here in Indianapolis when the Super Bowl was in town. That's where I met him. I met him at a party. Incredible time. KY is a good time. And I didn't know nothing about racing. So I started following, and he's in fights with everybody. I'm like, oh, okay, this is not the same guy. He is the perfect heel at all times. You're right. I think NASCAR needs a lot more of that.
From a fan's perspective, I got to spend time with Kyle Busch. I met him at the track one time, and we've texted a little bit. I'm a big fan of his, but he reminds me of a great buddy of mine from a competitive standpoint, and that is number 6, Jay Cutler. And when I met Kyle Busch, I said, bro, even that, I was like, I had to like pull him aside. You know when you're like with a couple people and you got to pull him aside and be like, hey, I just want to tell you, you kind of remind me of this guy, Jay Cutler. Have you heard of him? Hey. He's like, oh, I love that. I love Jay Cutler.
By the way, everybody does. It's been nice to kind of see by the way, you've been on Team Jay Cut for a long, long time. Now the whole world is kind of coming around on Jay Cutler via reality TV and his Instagram and everything like that. What a legend, huh? Is he like that every single day? Is that just what Jay Cutler is? Is him out there on the ranch with his goddamn chickens?
Well, it's like when people ask me, like, oh, you've met Pat McAfee. Is he really like that? And I'd be like, dude, you'd have to hang out with him to believe it. That's who he is. He's a funny guy. He's a great guy, great energy. And the same can be said for Jay in regard to his personality. I mean, it rolls off the tongue so easy for him when he's being a smart ass. And it rolls off the tongue so easy when he's being a dickhead. But he is a great guy. And you know, as many people said he wasn't a great teammate, I just think they gave up on trying to approach him. I bothered him so much my rookie year. I was like, this guy's going to buy me free shit. He's so rich. He's going to give me, like, everything I need. Rich. And you know what? I bothered him until he did, Pat. And to this day, you know, he took me hunting one time. I'd never been hunting before. Wow. He took me hunting in a helicopter, this guy.
Whoa. You guys are sawing down hogs.
All because I was like, hey, I'm here to protect you. You might as well be friends with me, bro.
Hey, not a bad. That's a good American success story. You and Jay Cutler being good friends, pal.
True love story.
So what? So you really had just like 10 cavities in half your face? I'm starting to see it a little bit. It's on this side. I'm starting to see it.
I couldn't even put a lipper in on the way home, bro. Really, you know my routine. I'm pretty regular. I'm usually on the John by 1, the old commode.
What do you have, Ty?
Kyle, we had Chris on not too long ago, and we asked him about you guys going head-to-head, and obviously he said, I think that, you know, you're really tough, but that he has the upper hand. Is that true at all, or would you, like, if you guys really went into an Oklahoma drill, would you bury his ass?
Well, Chris and all his D linemen, they take a lot of plays off, so he'd probably be fresh. I will say, I mean, I'm 315, Shawty. We can line. I live right up the street, C-Long.
Hey, can you still move?
You know what? Chris is in much better shape than I am because he's just like, he climbs mountains. And he's also the guy that's like, if you're going to beat me, you're going to have to kill me. That's how Chris, there's guys you've played with that are like that, Pat. That's how Chris is, and it's no fun to play against him.
You're 315. Was that your playing weight? Because you always, you always carried it very well though. Like you always looked very athletic. I don't think you ever looked like a big fat slob.
Well, yeah, I appreciate it. 315, 320 is about where I played at. The heaviest I got to was 352 in the wild card game. I was playing Fletcher Cox, and I said, well, he's big and strong. I might as well just eat everything in sight. I was so tired, bro. I never want to be that heavy again.
Gained 20
The thought of you eating protein, bananas, peanut butter, just all week.
No. Pizza, ranch, burritos, anything, bro.
How quickly did you lose that? Pretty quickly afterwards, or
when I was done playing, I got down to 250 like ASAP. I think it was mostly because, like, remember in where the red fern grows. The one dog died, the other dog couldn't eat. That's kind of like when you're done playing football. You're not really depressed, but there's something missing, and you're trying to figure it out. I lost so much weight, Pat. It was terrible.
Well, rest in peace to that dog, by the way. And spoiler alert.
Great dog.
I never read the
barbed wire.
But spoiler alert, man. Check the barbed wire there. A lot of offensive linemen go down, super down. You see Yonda, Yonda looks like a child at this point. I mean, it's unbelievable how young he looks. You said that it got to the point where you couldn't eat. Is that why you think a lot of guys lose weight? Or does that just become their main focus? Like, they take everything that they had towards football, and they're like, all right, now I'm going to put it towards health and eating right. Because some of those transformations, Alan Faneca, unbelievable to watch.
Nick Hardwick, like, the list goes on and on and on. But I think, honestly, it's our body's understanding of what we're dealing with on a daily basis. And when you're pounding each other and you're just going to pound town on the D-line every single day, your body's like, please give me more fuel. Like, I need to repair myself. And when you're done playing, you get an opportunity to sleep. You get an opportunity to hang out, and your body's kind of like, well, we can repair ourselves now. We don't really have to build all the time.
Man, you get back to 350 ever?
You trying to get to 350, bro?
I'm at 260 right now. I got to turn back.
Come and see me at the peak.
Can you still do it? Has your body healed? Can you move and play? I saw you golfing. Hey, your golf swing really fucking good. I thought you should have stuck with that a little bit more. Seems like you quit on that on social media. I'm not sure in real life if you did or not.
I got a lot of flack for that. As a matter of fact, Jay was like, hey, if you're not in tournaments and winning money, you cannot be posting videos every day.
What are you, a fucking professional golfer?
He was like, you're a fraud or you're a pro. And he was like, and if you're not a pro, then you need to just post pictures of yourself doing not golf.
Kyle, we got to get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here, guys. You know, I'm almost late for my commode, so.
You do have an 8-minute time here. You don't have a lipper in, though, so it might slow
I hope I can run fast.
Well, you can. You still got it. You're only 315, 320. You can get it going. You can move it a little bit.
We will. You know what? I wish we could do this more often. I love talking to you guys. Big fan of everybody on the show. You guys make it all special over there. Okay?
Zito's very excited that you came on. Big Bears fan. He's very thankful.
Hey, Zito, I wish we could have done more in this segment, but I love you. And tip of the cap to you, bud.
Hey, you're the best, dude. Enjoy your off season, will you?
I'll see you guys.
He's fucking stoked. I didn't know that was his rookie year. I actually helped an old lady across the street at the Pro Bowl his rookie year.
Oh, nice.
Ooh. Yeah, no
Hero.
big deal.
Doesn't get talked about.
Good guy.
He tried to make it something to talk about, though. We were driving to like a store or something because we were there. There was another wave of people coming somehow, and I needed something. He was like, "Oh, I'll drive you." He had his car out there, so we went to the store or whatever. AQ was with us. It was me, him, and AQ, by the way, in a car. Damn. And just think about that trip or whatever. And this old lady literally crossing like 6 lanes of traffic or whatever. And I get out, I push the thing. And obviously AQ and Kyle are hanging out the window. Hero Pat McAfee! Screaming that entire thing. He's a very good dude. And I'm happy he came on. I love the hell out of that conversation. He's a maniac, though. He was so good when he came into the league out of nowhere. I saw him one time training in the offseason, and he had a bat. And he was hitting a bat off like a tire. And I had no idea who the hell he was. And this was before he got drafted. And they were like, oh, yeah, he's a really good baseball player. He's probably going to get drafted like top 10 or something like that as an offensive lineman. I was like, that's an offensive lineman now? He was fucking just like sculpted almost. Then he gets up to 350 when he sees fucking Fletcher Cox. All right, give me the deepest dish you got over here, Jordanos. Fletcher Cox is a big boy. We got to get to it. We have to get to a hard out here. Let's answer some phones on the other side, huh? Well, actually, we got Pierre Mcguire on the other side. Then after Pierre Mcguire, by the way, big shout out to Kyle Long joining us. I asked him 5 minutes before the show started if he would join us, by the way. Supposed to have Chris Godwin. Something popped up with Chris Godwin. I don't know if it's contract negotiation or anything like that. He dropped out. Asked Kyle Long to come in. Very thankful for Kyle Long.
We need more Bears players.
He was... You know, you heard him say, like, I was hurt and bitter there because I think he came out against the Bears a little bit. I assume he's back on the Bears side because you get kind of after time heals all wounds. You're like, you know what, a lot of good times there.
They did him dirty, for sure.
Yeah, I would assume that. By the way, when guys leave the NFL, either if they've played for a long time. That's normally the first time in their entire athletic careers where they weren't good enough or didn't enjoy the sport anymore. So normally it's a little bit chilly, and then hopefully all guys get a chance to come back, because the amount of shit that Kyle did for the Bears and the NFL was fantastic. I'm very thankful he called in. And we got Pierre Mcguire on the other side, talk a little stick.
Yeah.
Puck. Woo! Pittsburgh Penguins beat the shit out of the Capitals yesterday. We'll talk to Pierre Mcguire about the state of the NHL and more. This is the Pat McAfee Show, Monday, February 15th, 2021. We'll see you in about 6 minutes or so. If something happens one time, anomaly. Happens 2 times, it's like, oh, okay, maybe. But whenever there's a trend of 18 plus, 20 plus things being predicted, you got to go like, hey, Groening, the gig's up. We know. You're a time traveler.
Just tell us.
Bro, I just want to talk to you. I got so many questions. Siegfried and Roy tiger attack. Do you remember that?
Of course.
Do you remember back in the day how tight Siegfried and Roy were with their tigers? It was like every main story was like, oh, these tigers are the best behaved animals on earth, blah, blah, blah. Simpsons in 1993 said the tiger is going to turn. This little friendly tiger is going to become an enemy of Siegfried and Roy quickly, and it's going to happen. 2003, it actually happened. Autocorrect errors, 1994. Before you could even play Snake on the gray little box phone, they predicted that autocorrect will happen on your phone. Are you kidding me? Didn't happen until 2007. FaceTime, 1995. Not even a thought. I don't even know if anybody knew what the fuck the internet was.
Oh, that's
that little mark with the A and then the ring around it?
At?
See, that's what I said.
Mm-hmm. No,
What is internet anyway?
In 1995, they said, don't worry, you'll be carrying around a device where you will be face-to-face with somebody on the opposite side of Earth. 1995, they said that. 2010, it happened. Faulty voter machines. 2008, they predicted it. 2012, it became the forefront of conversation in a big, big way. I assume these voter machines have been up in question for a long, long time, but they just knew that it was going to come to fruition in 2012.
No, I want to vote for Obama.
2 votes for McCain.
Come on, it's time for a change.
3 votes for McCain.
The God particle. Now, this is the big one. Ty Schmidt did research. He said the God particle is the absolute reason why he is 1,000% a time traveler. Homer Simpson got up there like fucking Matt Damon in that movie where they have that
Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting, and draws up this equation for what the God particle is, which what is the God particle?
Yeah, it's basically this equation that essentially like explains how the universe was created.
And they did that in 1998, and the exact equation happens in 2012.
That's unheard of.
14 years ahead of time. They got Homer Simpson up there looking like that goddamn janitor from Harvard, solving equations up on a chalkboard, and 14 years later, it's like, yeah, that's actually how the universe was founded. It's like, wait a fucking minute, little comedy writer with a goddamn yellow cartoon, bro. That's insane. The NSA spying scandal. Everybody knew that the Patriot Act was like in existence, but nobody had a clue that NSA literally knows everything about you. Every dick you've sent has been seen by some government agency, but it wasn't always like that. We didn't know that everything was getting spied on, Sean. Nobody knew that.
I didn't know.
They predicted that in 2007, 2013 it happened.
No, Lisa, it's not like the government is listening to everybody's conversation.
Smartwatches, 1995, they said it would happen. 2014, they came to fruition. America's Ebola outbreak, 1997, they said it. 2014. Do you remember when Ebola hit? It was like, it was literally...
Hospitals like shutting down.
Oh, they had people wearing like hazmat suits, carrying people around because they were scared Ebola was possible. In the modern world, this was happening. Years and years and years and years ago, Matt Groening said this is going to happen. The FIFA corruption scandal, 2014, they called it. 2015, it came all crashing down. Everybody knew they were getting their pockets greased, making decisions, sending a World Cup to a goddamn desert. Matt Groening said it's going to happen. It happened. Greece's debt default, 2012, they called it. 2015, it happened. So many countries out there, by the way.
They picked Greece.
The exact country to happen. Trump's presidency, 2000, they called it. 2016, it came to fruition. The Simpsons called this President Trump out there, and everybody probably looked at, oh, those Simpsons guys are so funny. Bang, 16 years later, it is about to happen. It goes down. Lady Gaga Super Bowl halftime show, 2012, they called it. 2017. I mean, I think we all knew that she was born this way. She would probably get the halftime show at some point, but to the details that they had. These are not coincidences. coincidence. I don't know how you pronounce it.
How the fuck do they know this stuff?
It's
got to be time travel.
Matt Groening is a time travel. I have so many fucking questions. Disney's takeover of Fox, 1998. They said it. 2017, it happens. The Shard in London, which is a building behind Big Ben, I guess. Is that right?
Apparently, that's what Google search said.
1995, 2009, it comes to fruition. Robot Librarians, 95, they called it. 2016, it happens. The censorship of Michelangelo's David, 1990, 2016, it happened. Three-Eyed Fish from the fucking nuclear waste place.
In Japan.
Three-Eyed Fish comes to fruition in 2001. Matt Groening did it in 1990. 9/11. 9/11. They called that happening. If you do recall planes going into buildings, they said it in 1997, 2001, it happens. The Syrian uprising, everything that's going on in the Middle East has all been talked about on The Simpsons. And then he created another show called Futurama. That is huge. He created another show like, yeah, listen, here's me rubbing it in the face that's where I could go if I have to. I have so many questions for Matt Groening. And guess what, Matt Groening? The gig's up. We know. I'm all in on you, Matt. And I'm a fan, by the way, aren't we? We're big fans.
I'm a huge fan.
If you want to travel to future me or current me or past me and say what's up, I think we would all be appreciated.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about. Yes,
speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show. It is Monday, February 15th, 2021. Hour 2 of this sports show will begin immediately following the beat drop from Twine. There it is. Here we go. Joining us now is an absolute legend in the world of stick and puck. Ladies and gentlemen, NBC NHL analyst, former player, former coach, former scout, friend of the show, ladies and gentlemen, Pierre Mcguire.
Yeah! Hey, Patrick, how you doing?
Hey, not too shabby. I see you got some books behind you. What have you been reading?
Oh, I've had a lot of time to read.
How pumped are you to be out of that bubble that you were forced to live in for 6 months last year?
It was good. It was great to be. I'll be honest with you, Pat. It was great being in the bubble, but I'm glad now we're actually allowed to go to games. So that's been cool. The weirdest thing, though, Pat, I got to tell you, not having fans in the stands. I did a game in Pittsburgh yesterday. That was bizarro world. And earlier in the week, Pat, I did a game at Madison Square Garden. I've been going there for a lot of years. No fans, very strange.
Okay, so let's talk about that, because other sports, UFC, no fans, it almost made the product better, right? Because you could hear each punch land and everything like that. Football, they were piping in fan noise, and if you really kind of disappeared in it, unless they showed the empty stadiums, which started happening towards the end of the season, you could tell, but not really from home. But the players, there's a lot of mic'd up situations. J.J. Watt is talking to a teammate. He's like, you can hear the blimp right now. That's how quiet it was in the stadiums. At home, we didn't know that because the fans were getting piped in through the crowd noise or whatever. In hockey, do you think it's been changing the game at all? Have players had less juice than expected? Because a lot of NFL guys said on the defensive side of the ball, without the fans, it was kind of hard to get hyped up to go run your face into somebody over and over. Has hockey seen anything like that, or did the bubble kind of prepare them for this type of experience?
Oh, that's a good point. I think the bubble helped prepare a lot of the players for this. That being said, it's not normal not to have fan noise and the intimidation factor of going into somebody else's building as a visitor. So I would say that's a real good point, Pat. The truth of the matter is the fans are missed. The noise level in a lot of these buildings is unbelievably off the charts, and not having the fans, I think, does hurt a little bit of the enthusiasm, no question.
Let's talk about some storylines in the NHL. Pierre, you're the best guy to talk about. You know about everything going on. The Pittsburgh Penguins are still going to win the Stanley Cup. How's that going to happen?
They actually have a new management team now with Brian Burke as a president and Ronnie Hextall. How are you dealing with Ronnie Hextall coming into pitching?
I know Flyers and blah, 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 blah. He's won a cup before, but it ain't about that now. He's on the good side of the state here with the Pittsburgh Penguins, and it felt like we needed him. Get the old ones out. We need a new thing, and it feels like the team is playing inspired hockey, trying to impress the new leadership. Is that the same feeling you got yesterday?
Absolutely. In all seriousness, Pat, I think that Ronnie and Brian are going to do an outstanding job there. They're going to bring a certain dynamic to that team that they need. It's kind of like the 92 team when Craig Patrick went out and got Shel Samuelson and Rick Tocchet. that changed the identity of the Pittsburgh Penguins. You brought in some hardcore physical guys with a whole lot of nasty to them, and I think you're going to see Brian Burke and Ron Hextall do a little of that in Pittsburgh, and I think that will be positive for the program. I thought it was two good hires for the organization, and I do think they'll make a difference.
Okay, let's talk about old school hockey and the current state of hockey right now. A lot of talent on the ice everywhere, okay? I mean, there's a guy named Mick Jesus. I don't know if you guys are allowed to say that on the air, but the internet says that. Nowadays, with the way hockey is, though, there's no real goons. Okay, it feels like the superstars don't get protected as much as they did in the past. I mean, now I might be completely wrong here, but if you look up footage of the Great One or even Mario, there's some space around them because there's people on their team like protecting them basically. The game has sped up. The physicality has kind of dissipated a little bit. But do you feel like it's fair to judge current players, Mick Jesus maybe if he gets going, Sidney Crosby, against the older school of hockey? Or do you believe that that's kind of a tough comparison with the two different style of play?
The biggest difference is not having the red line, Pat. Without the red line, we had the stretch passes now, so there's more flow through the neutral zone. So it's really hard to compare from era to era. You talk about having the policemen or the guys that used to protect the superstars. The officials actually now protect the star players more than ever, which is probably a good thing, not a bad thing, so we don't have as much vigilante justice going on the ice.
Oh, Batman.
The one thing I would say is there's still room for old-time hockey. If you watch the Bruins and the New York Rangers this past Friday night, that was a whole lot of nasty, Pat. I mean, there were fights, there were hits, there was dirty plays, there was unbelievable skill, there was great goaltending, there was everything you want in a hockey game. But it was old school.
Who's going to win the Stanley Cup? Obviously, the Penguins.
Seriously, there are a ton of teams that can. Vegas is good. Colorado's good. Boston Bruins are good. Philadelphia Flyers are good. Washington Capitals, if they can get their goaltending situation sorted out, they're good. Tampa Bay, the defending champs, they're good. Don't forget your Pittsburgh Penguins. I think they're still got an opportunity here. They're going to have to work some things out defensively with bodies and also in goal, I think. But I think they're still in the discussion as well.
Is Letang broken? Did you talk to him? What's going on with the hashtag trade Letang was trending in Pittsburgh. He's a guy who's been around the Penguins for a long time, has won cups with the Penguins. Very handsome. By the way, he is beloved in Pittsburgh strictly because his hair is great and his hockey, but he seems like he's broken. And our goalie, Jari, somebody just needs to play catch with that guy. It feels like he has a little bit of an issue with the glove side. Is that ever going to get fixed in Pittsburgh, you think?
I think Mike Buckley, the goalie coach, can fix Christian Jari.
Right.
And I think Christian Jari will get fixed. In terms of Christopher Letang, Pat, the big thing is nobody talks about it. This is a man that's had devastating injuries. When he was 25 years of age, he had a stroke, Pat. I mean, we're not talking about run-of-the-mill type injuries, so not easy. Is he as good as he used to be? No, he's not. Is he still a serviceable player? Yeah, he is.
What's been the biggest moment of the year thus far? Are you thinking, how deep are we in and how much further do we have? Shortened season this year, right?
Yeah, 56 games. Biggest problem so far and the biggest storyline is guys getting into rhythm because of COVID. It's been a big problem, Pat.
Yeah, the Dallas Stars missed like the first month of the season, right? That whole thing. It's not really being talked about much, but will they make up those games or will they just kind of do what the MLB did and just be like, okay, we have enough games to judge who should be in the playoffs? Are they planning on making up every single game?
They are planning on making up every single game.
How's that going to happen? They're just going to extend the season longer or put on more?
They're going to play a lot of games. There's about a 2-week window where they give themselves a little bit of leeway where they can make it up.
How do the coaches and players feel about this year traveling around? Are they a little bit tired? Do they have the same rules as the NBA guys where at the away hotels you're not even allowed to eat at the diner basically? Don't go to the lobby?
You can't have your teammates up to your room. You can't do anything. I can tell you just from when we travel, we're not allowed to ride in the same car, can't ride in the same car to the rink, got to go back to your room. If you stand in the lobby, you got to social distance 6 to 8 feet. no after-hours stuff. So, no, it's really strict for everybody. I really commend the players and the coaches and the organizations around the league. They're doing everything they can to make this safe. But it's not easy. It's really, really tough, especially when you're traveling all over North America.
Host of That's Hockey Talk, Nick Morodo.
Pierre, are we going to get the Tahoe games on schedule? I saw you guys highlighting them building the rink out there in yesterday's game, but there were some questions about the team's COVID-related issues. Might not be able to make it.
Yeah, that's a good question, Nick. I don't know. I was traveling today, so I don't know what the final outcome is, but it sure sounds like everything's a go from what I heard yesterday.
You guys just putting that rink right on the fairway. That's what it looked like yesterday watching that game.
Yeah, they're putting it right up on the fairway. Exactly. What a view that's going to be. It's going to be spectacular.
By the way, brilliant. Being like, hey, listen, we're probably not going to have fans. So instead of sitting in front of an empty stadium that would be grand, let's go ahead and put this in the most pristine view that we could potentially find. We're going to put in Lake Tahoe right on a fairway where there's just mountains and everything. And that's going to be gorgeous. 2 games, right? Back to back?
Yeah, you got Colorado and Vegas. You got Boston and Philly. Teams that don't like each other.
Boston doesn't like Philly either. Pittsburgh hates them.
Philly stinks.
That's
No,
unbelievable.
they don't like them.
Hey, Bruins are unbelievable. How do you feel about the new the divisions here that's happening? The Canadian squad, and then we're linked up with the Bruins now at some point.
Tough.
And then there's teams getting easy way outs, getting put in another division. How do you feel about the realignment that had to happen due to COVID?
I think it's good for 1 year, Pat, but I don't think it's something we want to go to long term, obviously. I think for this year, it's an imperfect solution to an imperfect problem. It really is. They're doing the best they can, but I can't see this lasting for more than this year.
What would your message be to your team if you were coaching right now for the boys to kind of, keep their eyes on the prize here and not kind of get distracted while traveling around the entire thing?
That's a fair question, too. And I think the biggest thing is trying to get your players into rhythm. And so your practices have to be fast and hard, but not really long. You got to make sure your guys really feel like part of something special. I would try to create that, Pat. But to me, the biggest thing is trying to generate enthusiasm because there are no fans in the stands. You got to try as a coaching staff and as players to try to generate as much enthusiasm as possible for your group.
Are you still in between the glass?
Yeah, but you know what? We are in a glass bubble. So it's a lot different. It really is, Pat.
So everybody's kind of in between the glass, I guess. But you're actually north, south, east, and west inside. Have you seen some teams be better at the self-generated fake hype than others? And has that benefited their team?
Absolutely. I would say one team that's really good at it, Boston Bruins. They're really comfortable at it, a young team. I'll tell you another team that's real good at it, Tampa Bay. They won the championship last year. They're very good at generating enthusiasm. And your Pittsburgh Penguins, the last 2 games have been outstanding generating enthusiasm.
You heard it. What do you got, Diggs?
Pierre, how do we work the Zibanejad and Marchand not leaving the ice, rock, paper, scissors into the game more?
Yeah, what was that too? Is that something that always happens? I see this in baseball when the starting lineup's like that one person will stand on the thing until the other person does. Does this happen every game? And I'm a hockey aficionado, so obviously I know, but the people have questions.
Yeah, no, it happens from time to time and team to team. I think the interesting thing is guys like to shoot pucks into the empty net of the opposition. So sometimes players will stay out longer so guys can't shoot it into the empty net. And that's where you get some issues, Pat.
So I like the fact that time-honored tradition, who's going to be the last one off the ice there? That's after warm-ups before the game starts, I assume?
Yeah, exactly.
But even they know rock, paper, scissors is end all be all. You know what I mean? Like I have respect for the fact that they had respect for amongst the respect thing that they were in, that rock, paper, scissors is the end all be all here. Congrats to whoever won that, by the way. That's a big time game. I mean, a lot of eyes on that rock, paper, scissors contest right there. Who won? Did the team win that won the rock, paper, scissors as well?
The New York Rangers lost to the Boston Bruins.
So who won the New York Rangers won the
Rangers did.
So maybe that tradition doesn't matter at all. Connor, what do you have?
Yeah, Pierre, you alluded to the old school type of game the Bruins-Rangers game was, and one of the fights that they had was just right off the face-off. Do you hear those conversations, and what do they say to each other? Just like, hey, fuck you, let's fight right now? Or
I don't hear that language. Sometimes, yeah. But more times than not, what you hear from guys, you want to go? Let's go. And sometimes it's a carryover from a game before. But a lot of times it's guys that have had some animosity over the course of time. But more times than not, they just say, hey, let's go. Ready to go? Let's go.
So they probably know going into the game that they're probably going to fight the person? That's interesting.
Yes.
Okay, so they're sitting there waiting for a face-off normally, like you said there, in that particular fight. And the two that are lined up next to each other, going into the game, they both had the mindset that we're probably going to end up fighting each other here?
Probably, yeah. It's called setting the table. Yeah.
Ooh, that's awesome. Imagine going into a game. All right, I'm fighting a guy tonight. Yeah. You going to score? No idea, but I know I'm fighting a guy. But as soon as we can get to the face-off. And then you just sit there, and such an honorable conversation. You know, like, hey, you want to go? Yeah, you do? All right, let's let everybody know. This doesn't matter. We are about to brawl as soon as that puck, because everything stops, you know? I think that's my favorite. Now, it kind of left the game a little bit. It felt like fighting was trying to get pushed out of the game. It became a 5-minute major with this, and you have to do this and do this. They tried to break it down as much as possible, but at the heart of hockey, I do believe there is a chance to set the table, or fighting will always live on. I like the fact that there's still a little bit of, you know, hey, stick taps, we'll sit around and watch these two guys just throw hands at each other. And there was, I think it was that the Rangers Bruins, there was a couple big connections. Guy went down, by the way. Normally it's over, gets back up, eats another one, then goes back. I mean, there's some good scraps popping off right now in hockey.
Oh, yeah, no question about it. I think the one thing the Rangers are trying to establish is an identity with a very young team, and I think they're doing a good job of that. Their rebuild is well on track. And I think for Boston, they're one of the marquee teams in the league, and those guys understand what it takes to compete at a high level. So that's why you get that kind of stuff too.
Diggs?
Pierre, have you seen, has it been a little more chippy, because I've seen like a couple times because of rescheduling and COVID, the teams were playing 4 or 5 times in a row?
Yeah, how about Arizona and St. Louis? I think it's 7 times in a row. You know, it's just crazy. It's like a playoff series. So the answer is yes. And this is building up to some deep-seated animosity between a lot of teams. You know, it's just Ottawa's going into Toronto. They're going to play 3 times this week. You know, it's just crazy.
Pierre, NBC Sports Network, rest in peace. Had a hell of a
yeah.
Thank you. You did a lot of great work there, Pierre. I want to let you know that a lot of great work with NBC Sports Network and NBC's NHL coverage. That's potentially going to move away from NBC. Are you a package deal with the NHL?
No, I have a year left on my deal, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Oh, you're going to get traded. Pierre's going to get traded.
Okay.
What if Pierre gets traded?
Okay.
Hey, you should say right now that the offensive line for NBC has not protected you, and you want to get the hell out of town, and you're looking to be traded. No,
what was your takeaway in the Super Bowl, Pat?
Tom Brady, just for whatever reason. I was getting messages during the week from people down there in Tampa that I'm good friends with, that I've been around. They're like, you should just see this guy just lock it. Like, I guess the week of the Super Bowl, I've told this story before. I held for Adam Vinatieri for a long time. And there'd be, you know, kicks in our relationship and how we would go about going onto the field. It'd be a jokey, light, because you're kind of like the caddy. And then when it came to a game-winning kick, the first time I was there for a game-winning kick, I looked back at Adam, and normally I say, hey, you ready, old man? And he'd give me like, yeah, buddy, or whatever. I say like, you ready, old man? And there isn't a sound back there. So I turn around and I look, and it was like this Iceman almost. It was like, he was just like completely locked in. I was like, oh, okay, all right, this is why you're Adam Vinatieri. Let's hope I don't mess this up, because I do not have that same move, and I got something to do here. I guess Tom Brady, playoffs into Super Bowl week, it was just like a completely different person. And the Patriot way, you know, for a long time was nothing, you know, the season doesn't really start till the playoffs. And I guess what everybody has said down in Tampa is like when the playoffs started, the Tom Brady effect really started taking, everybody's expectations were raised, accountability was raised. Let's go ahead and do this and this. So I think that was my biggest takeaway, plus the fact that the paparazzi parlay, Antonio Brown, Rob Gronkowski, Leonard Fournette scoring touchdowns hit for me, and I won $25,000. So if the tails doesn't come, thank you, Pierre. If tails doesn't come, if tails comes and I hit that parlay, I have a $55,000 Super Bowl. That's my biggest takeaway, is that the coin toss was rigged. But Tom Brady's the greatest. How about you?
My biggest takeaway was the start of the third quarter. Ali Marpet running to his right, the left guard. What a great block. Let Leonard Fournette go for the touchdown. Hobart College, the earliest rated Division III player ever drafted in the NFL draft. That's my takeaway.
Did you go to that school?
I did. I played football there too.
What'd you play, quarterback?
In high school, I did defensive back in college.
Athlete. What you do?
But when I saw Ali Marpet throw that block, I was like, man, look at that guy move. That's a big guy running real fast.
Yeah, and I do like the fact that you kind of shoehorned this conversation in so you could shout out the school that you went to. I do like that a lot, Pierre. I appreciate you. Pierre, I can't thank you enough for the time that you spend with us. We obviously don't cover hockey for our entire show. Every time you come on, I feel like I get caught up with everything, and I feel like I'm even more excited for the NHL season because of you. So I hope you stick with the NHL wherever the hell it goes.
Thanks a lot, Patrick. I appreciate it. Take care of yourself. Really good visiting with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pierre Mcguire. All right. There you go.
Love a good rapid fire with Pierre to catch up on everything.
That's what that is. Hey, tell me everything I need to know. Okay, I know the Penguins are going to win the Stanley Cup, but please let me know everything else that's going on.
It sounded like the Bruins are going to win the Stanley Cup from what Pierre's saying.
Oh, you guys are losing rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
Is that a sign of things to come?
Losing rock, paper, scissors, winning the game. I mean, what really matters?
We have to get to a break. I mean, we have to get to a break. Phone calls on the other side. I'm excited to hear what the people got. 1-888-MAD-DOG-6. Here on Sirius XM Channel 82, Mad Dog Sports Radio, the home of JT the Brick. Shout out to Linda Cohn, by the way. OG in the game. Yeah. Crushed it for Shine earlier before we got on TV. Yeah. She was also in for Chris Mad Dog Russo on Friday, and I apologize for saying Chris Mad Dog Russo was on the other side because it wasn't Chris Mad Dog Russo. It was OG Lynn, so I apologize on that. I did not know. I have mucho respect for Linda Cohn. All right. Phone calls on the other side. Please don't suck and also lead into a good conversation. There's some things we have not covered.
Yeah.
Some stuff in the football world that we have not covered. Stuff in the sports world. For instance, Usman, shout out, third round, KO or TKO.
Yeah.
Massive bet. Yeah. Made a quick 3,500 off of that. Or 4,000, I'm sorry.
Good win.
I bet against Djokovic because our tennis sharp in the office told me. That guy don't know fucking shit.
You never bet against the Joker.
He told me to do it again. They're playing tomorrow morning, I guess.
I know.
Foolish.
He's playing Zidane Zidane tomorrow morning.
That's right.
Joker's just playing rope-a-dope. He's got it locked down.
I was told from my tennis sharp source that Djokovic got a torn abdomen.
He wasn't losing to a Canadian, Pat. Come on.
That was from a Canadian?
Yeah.
Who else? Isn't the best female tennis player a Canadian? That's
Nah.
Serena, but who number
Naomi Osaka?
Coco? Isn't she
Coco
Canadian?
Gauff?
Vandeweghe. I have no idea what I just said. I know that's a human being, but I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure Osaka is the...
I know, I nailed it. Coco Vandeweghe. Yeah.
She's from Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia.
What about Mitch McConnell?
He's fucking unbelievable race car.
Guy can move.
That guy's a wheelman. There's a Canadian tennis player that's young.
I'm on.
I think. I might be wrong.
Canadian.
We will wait.
Bianca Andruska.
That was not who I was thinking.
Drisca, though. I mean, she has a hell of a
Where's
forehand.
Coco from?
Atlanta, Georgia.
U.S., yeah.
Oh, we got an American. That's even
Yeah.
better.
Oh, yeah.
We've had, I
Yeah,
thought
the
Canada.
highest ranked Canadian is Bianca Andruska.
Oh, I mispronounced that.
So I was giving Canada more credit than it deserves. She's sorry about that, Canada. Gumpy was trying to shit on you. That's on me. I do enjoy some tennis, but not at 4:15 in the morning. All right, 24 minutes into the second hour. We'll take some phone calls on the other side. I apologize to Canada for what our Canadians said about Canada. This is Monday, February 15th, 2021. We'll see you in about 4 minutes. Travis called heads. No!
Sorry.
You're not sorry.
I'm sorry that it worked out this way, but I told you.
You're not
I had
sorry.
to trust my instincts. You asked me what I thought. I thought it was going to be heads. I didn't
What about
wanna have to
Travis
pick it. I
Kelce
didn't know
going
you
out
put
there?
30K on it.
Yeah, I mean, was that the cleanest toss of all time?
No, it was terrible.
But that thing took one bang straight in. What a horse shit toss.
They watered the field. Old Notre Dame versus USC. They raised the grass. And
You son of a bitch.
We all know that wasn't a fair coin toss.
no, it was
They should
not.
redo it.
It was a lot worse than 50-50 after fucking watching that thing. A lot of people say that's why you don't bet 30,000 on a coin toss. You know?
Seems like a reasonable thing to bet 30K on.
Because you got no control. You got no control, guys. So I guess not even like a thought could go into it.
Well, Christmas is canceled.
Yeah, we're giving away a lot, but nowhere near as much as we once had thought.
No.
Remember that double 70K? Take it back.
Yeah, for sure. FanDuel just made so much money right there.
Use.
Wow. He's getting the crowd into it. He got some fun there. Oh, boy.
Oh, with the balance! With the balance! Oh!
Silver platter for Pat. I don't know.
Oh, man. Oh, he's all over the table. He really is done for.
Oh,
and we have
And there it is. There's too much semen in Bill's controller, so the buttons are sticking together. He is in jeopardy of owing.
Oh, Skunk is still alive.
Skunk is still alive, but
Let's go.
11-4.
Yeah, people talk about how skinny his legs are at times. I don't think people talk about how skinny his arms are as well. those things are paper thin.
He has eclipsed the $10,000.
Thank you, AJ.
Thank you, AJ.
Good boy, AJ Hawk. Very.
I could barely hear you guys anyway, so it's good. That was a good match. Good couple matches by Pat.
AJ, appreciate you, man.
I'm sweating bad.
Yeah, me too.
Have
I'm
you
pretty
been
wide
beat?
open as well. Hey, you're a good
Have you
player,
been-
AJ. Is that your first time playing?
It's like my second time playing this game. Not real ping pong. I'd love to play you any day of the week, but this one's still fun.
Okay, well, I play Oculus ping pong. Okay? I'll see you next time, AJ. We appreciate you.
Thank you, AJ.
Thank you, AJ.
Yes. See you guys.
Welcome back from your bathroom break. This is the Pat McAfee Show. Here's Pat.
Hey, fellas. We're in the thick of winter and storms are brewing, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Legit.
11
Today.
inches.
Yeah.
8 to 11.
Tomorrow's show might look vastly different than it does today, by the way, because I believe it's like -17 today, and there's supposed to be 8 inches. You put that together, that's what we like to call a recipe for catastrophe on the roads, especially here in Indiana. So let's hope everybody makes it tomorrow, but it's very okay if any of you say, hey, I ain't making the trek. Now I will, because I am taking off Friday. So,
Okay.
so I'm not wasting a day tomorrow because of no fucking snowstorm, I'll tell you that.
Listen, it could snow 3 feet. It's all flat out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
We grew up in the hills.
Yeah,
Ain't
that's COVID cowboy there. Now, the difference though with where we grew up is I do believe it got cold, right? It got cold, very cold. But the snow never felt like it just completely froze over. I've been here in Indiana a couple, obviously at this point, 12, 13 years. It gets so fucking cold out here. Your front yard is an ice rink. It just becomes because it's so bitterly cold, and the snow is not as wet. It's kind of dry, so I think it kind of cakes together quicker. That's what I think we're in for tomorrow morning. So please drive very safe.
Might throw the skates on.
I think I will potentially pond hawk.
Okay.
In the backyard tomorrow.
Here we go.
They think Lake Tahoe is nice. Wait till you see what the backyard looks like. Anyways. It looks like 1 to 3 inches are in the forecast when you trim the hibernation bush that's taking place in your pants. Luckily, our partners at Manscaped specialize in products to make sure you're walking around town with some beautiful snowballs.
Okay.
Manscaped is here to provide you the best tools for your grooming experience, offering precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. The Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer is the best hygiene tool for the modern man. Because of their ceramic blade and advanced skin-safe technology, your snags on your snowballs will be reduced. The trimmer is also waterproof, so you can trim in the shower or jacuzzi.
Wow.
What? If it calls for it. Manscaped's Performance Package is the best buy of 2021. The Performance Package comes with new and improved Lawnmower 3.0 Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, which is also fantastic, performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag. Have you ever noticed how nasty nose and ear hair is? In fact, 79% of partners polled admitted that long nose hair is a major turnoff. This bundle also comes with the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and Crop Reviver Ball Toner. Don't get cold feet this winter. Get 20% off and free shipping by going to manscaped.com/Pat. They also have a ton of other amazing men's hygiene products on their website, from disposable mats for your pubes to foot deodorant. Go get 20% off with free shipping by going to manscaped.com/Pat. That's 20% off with free shipping by going to manscaped.com/Pat. Shout out to Manscaped. In 1 hour from now, 59 minutes, Adam Pac-Man Jones will be joining us. Yeah! Hell yeah! Woo! There was a news story that came out that he got arrested for an assault, a fight. I do believe only one side of the story has been heard. We will hear Pac-Man's side at 2:30. Be a friend, tell a friend. He and I have known each other for a long time. He and AJ Hawk know each other for a long time. I do believe that'll be a pretty good conversation where we will cover what happened in the incident. I'll be excited to hear Pac-Man's side of the entire thing, because I looked into it a little bit more. He was the only person arrested from the incident. Was he fighting himself?
Interesting.
It's very interesting. Excited to hear. This could potentially be, hey, you're the people who know who you are because they know Pac-Man. Potential a little bit of profiling here that it's Pac-Man Jones and go after. Who knows? I was not there. We will talk to him about 58 minutes from now.
Here we go.
Get some phone calls. Let's get to Chris in Los Angeles. Chris, what's going on? 10 seconds, you know? That's Big Ben
Hey,
clock.
Pat. Quick hot take. I'm raised a Raider fan. Loved Carr. For Raider fans, get over it. He's gone. Besides, let's not forget an important fact. Following criticism, he was challenging Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman to a fight in the UFC, even going as far as to ask Dana White legitimately for a fight.
I like him
This
more.
injury, I don't trust his mental. Give Mariota the starting gig.
Listen, if Derek Carr was going to fight people in the octagon, I like him much more. Yeah. I kind of appreciate that insight there for my future judgments of Derek Carr. If he was calling people to fight him, I love him even more, which goes against, by the way, what I think a lot of people think of Derek Carr. Yeah. Remember, all the rumors that are coming out of Derek Carr are not that he wanted to fight people in the octagon.
No.
I love that. That's why when he's Colts quarterback, I'm going to be pumped up.
Yeah.
You got a cage fighter over here. Logan in Seattle, what's going on, Logan?
Hey, happy to be back on, Pat. Thanks for not calling me out for switching halfway to a Southern accent in my last call. I want to talk about the engagement for Aaron Rodgers, and what are the prospects that you and Dave Portnoy are going to duke it out in the Oculus Arena to be his best man?
Oh, great question, Logan. I would assume I am very low on that particular list. If I get invited to that wedding, there was a mistake, if I had to guess. Let's go to Ghana from the internet. What's going on, Ghana?
Hey, Pat.
Nice.
Hey, Pat. Thanks for having me back.
Hey.
Hey, Pat. You got me?
Yep. Thanks for being back.
Hey, thanks, man. I want to thank you guys for all the entertainment. I was laid up in the hospital last week, and you guys just provided hours of pastime while I was just laying there listening to shit's beep. So I appreciate the hell out of you and the boys. And
happy you're all right, Ghana.
Yeah.
Happy you're all right. Happy you're all right.
On the mend, my friends, on the mend. And especially shout out to the YouTube comment section and all the love that your fans have shown me. I really appreciate the support.
They showed you a lot of love. They show a lot of people a lot of hate. So I'm happy that they were on the right side of history with you. But there are other situations where I'm not 100% sure that is accurate. What do you want to talk about, Ghana? Happy to hear you're alive and doing well, pal.
Appreciate it, man. Hey, you know, the internet can be an ugly place, but you have really created the most beautiful place on the internet with your YouTube comment section. And you've helped out in the real world by providing real dollars and cents to people in need. All right? I love the fact that you've given away so much money. And what I would like to do is to pledge that if I win any financial gain from your giveaways, I will donate half of anything that I win to a local charity.
What a hero. That a boy. Hey, thank you for doing that. That's like whenever you win a 50-50 or a lottery at a charity event, you didn't win.
No.
By the way, you get to be the donor. That's what you get the chance to donate that thing. I've been at plenty of auctions and money raising events, you know, and I don't go to many of them anymore just because they normally ask me to be the MC of the thing, and being the MC of these, you raise a lot of money. Hey, I was there one night at Chuck Strong when $1 million was raised in one night in Indiana, to battle cancer and everything like that. It was an incredible night to be a part of. But to get to that amount of money, if you're the MC or on a microphone, there's a lot of terrible situations. You start asking people for money, basically. You start putting people in a spot. It's cool at the end, you know, because but there are so many uncomfortable conversations that have to happen throughout the night to get to that point. So I don't like doing it anymore. But it is always the classic. You win the 50-50, the raffle or whatever, and then you take that money, you get booed out of the building.
Oh, yeah.
You donate that son bitch right back. Congratulations. You bought the ticket that won that allowed you to potentially write this off as a tax for your donation. You did not win. Ghana's like, listen, I win any of these things, I'll donate half of it. And I respect that.
Yeah, good guy.
It's an honorable move.
What YouTube comment section is he talking about?
I have no idea. I guess this particular.
Oh, yeah. Joe Buck's going right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that is not a.
They're ruthless.
I mean, shout out to Ghana, by the way, winning them over. He went full babyface with the YouTube comments.
Yeah.
Just like Pepe does, you know, shout out to YouTube comments, shout out to YouTube comments.
Yeah.
That's a smart. Everybody calls in and they go, shout out to the boys, you know, thanks for the call. If you really want to win over a large group of people, the YouTube comment section, I think. Now, they might be easy to win over, but they will turn.
Oh, yeah.
YouTube comment section will turn. Let's go to Caleb in Morgantown. Videos surfacing from Morgantown of a student, human, hopping into a laundry basket and going down one of the many mountains in Morgantown while it was ice. He bails, laundry basket, crashes into cop car. Kid slides down the rest of the hill. You see cop turn around, put on his ice skates, chase this kid down the hill. I believe he was arrested immediately after that, but the party still did go on, which is why Morgantown is still undefeated. Caleb, what do you want to talk about?
Hey, Pat, calling from old sunny side up here on Beverly Avenue. Just wanting to see, I know you probably spent many of days over on sunny side, so just give us a crazy story about either Beverly or Grant or, I mean, just something from...
I had a house on Grant, Caleb, so if that says anything, me and a couple of my teammates / roommates had a house on Grant. It was the notorious party street in Morgantown. When I was there, though, it was kind of changing. We still, listen, very ratchet, still got after it. But they were kind of trying to change it. Some people came in with money, built some apartment complexes. Sunnyside, the area he's talking about where he lives, there was a place called Mutt's that used to be there. It was this bar that had been around for, I don't know, maybe 50, 60 years. A good friend of ours owned it, good guy. We used to stop in there every single night as we walked back home through there. Car bombs 3, 4 a.m. or whatever, and then keep it moving. But yeah, West Virginia is just completely awesome. I've told the story, but it is probably the most insane night I've been a part of in Morgantown. Walking on broken glass. I've told this story, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Midnight hits. Normally, you know, Country Roads comes on. Okay, and everybody sings it at all the bars. I don't know if they still do it. I don't know if that's something, but when I was there, it was happening, and we were celebrating a lot back then. So parties escalated, you know, the couch burning thing. Whenever you're having a blast and there's couches on porches and you're in Morgantown and you're blacking out, that type of stuff is just going to potentially happen. We became like the couch fire epicenter of the world, basically, with how much we were winning and celebrating. People even started calling West Virginia like, oh, that's the burning couches school. It's like, well, that's because we have so much to celebrate and we have a good time here. But the most insane night I've ever been a part of is Midnight Country Roads, block party. And then immediately after, walking on broken glass, going, walking on broken glass. I'm sitting on a porch. I was invited there by, I think one of my teammates had a friend who had a house over there, and it might have just been, I don't know, a random weeknight. I'm not 100% sure. It might have been a special occasion. I never hung out in this part of town. It was not Sunnyside. It was the other side of town. And I didn't really know many people. I'm just kind of doing my thing on the porch. Somebody has a keg. I'm probably doing my thing over there, having a blast. And then all of a sudden, when that song started coming on, there was just bottles being tossed out of the house that I was in across the street, glass bottles getting thrown onto the street. There's 2 couches on fire. Then there's just all these bottles getting tossed into it. And then all of a sudden, there's like a bunch of drunk whites, obviously, celebrating, walking on the broken glass while bottles are coming in. That was the most, it felt like I was in potentially Baghdad with the way that was the most insane night I've ever had in Morgantown. There's obviously, evenings where you eat mushrooms with your salad, and then you realize that the mushrooms that you're eating on your salad is not actually the healthy vegetable mushroom. It's actually the one that makes you start to potentially hallucinate. Just walking through Morgantown a couple evenings where you thought you had a salad mushroom, and it wasn't that. That's obviously a spectacle. I used to have a sombrero that would show up everywhere. That thing would get stolen, then returned to me. It was just, I had a great time there. I did not graduate. And
not yet.
Probably never will.
Whoa.
I had to guess.
You're going to get a PhD from that.
Well, I don't know how big the donation has to be, but they've got enough points out of me. All right? They don't need any of my money. Yeah, I scored enough, didn't I? I missed a couple too. Maybe I'll donate for the ones that I missed. How much do we value it? Well, that's expensive. Let's go to Jason in California. What's going on, Jason? Morgantown's a special place, though. Special.
Good to talk to you and the boys, Pat. Thank you for allowing me on the greatest sports show on earth.
My God! Thanks for calling in. What do you want to talk about?
Hey, as a Raiders fan, I just want to say that first caller is a stooge and does not represent us. Most Raider fans do believe in Derek Carr. I get some of the criticisms of him, but it's not his fault. His defense can't stop literally anyone on planet Earth. I'd rather have Carr over Mariota as a Raiders fan. That's just me.
Yeah, Mariota had that one half, which healed Derek Carr's groin or hip flexor. By the way.
Interesting.
It just healed that thing. Let's go to Jaron in Delaware. What's going on, Jaron?
Hey, Pat. What's up, man?
I think you're the first Jaron I've ever. Is it Jaron? Jason?
Jaron. It's Jaron.
Jaron, like Darren, but with a J.
I was calling today because today is my birthday.
Happy birthday, Jaron. Congrats, pal. What do you want to talk about?
Thank you. I just had a question. I was wondering, what do you think about Dak Prescott getting traded for Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you for your call. Happy birthday, Jaron. I heard that earlier that there would be a sign-in swap of Deshaun and Dak. I just don't know why either party would want that. All 4 parties. Deshaun, Dak, Jerry, or Houston. I don't know how that fits anybody. Now, it keeps Deshaun in Texas, I guess, which is what everybody's like, oh, he's not leaving Texas or whatever. Keeps Dak in Texas, I guess. But I have no idea how, if you're Jerry Jones, you bring in Deshaun Watson, pay him a bunch of money, and you don't pay Dak. You send Dak to a place that seems like everybody hates. That just doesn't seem accurate. I don't know if that's going to happen. That's been cooked up, though, a little bit. I guess everything is potentially going to happen. Russell Wilson's potentially going to Houston. There is a lot of potential things that could happen. The Dak-Deshaun swap doesn't make much sense to me, but the NFL has had a lot of decisions in its past that didn't make much sense. That one seems like very, very, very least likely situation. Shout out to Texas, by the way. Heard you guys are battling the cold down there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We appreciate you for rocking with us on this chilly day down there. There's a lot of snow down there.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Rolling blackouts.
There's rolling blackouts down there, which, by the way, isn't affecting the amount of people that are going to the movie.
Correct.
It's actually affecting the reporting of the amount of people that go, get off the roof, Vince. That's Entourage throwback. Nobody watching from Texas that is currently at home understood what we were talking about there, but we hope you guys are okay. Russell Wilson being on the move, Deshaun being on the move, Dak potentially being on the move. Now, Rob Ninkovich, by the way, who we have a lot of respect for, longtime Patriot, Super Bowl champion. I would assume still friends with a lot of the Patriots that he won Super Bowls with. He said, look for Deshaun Watson and Rob Gronkowski being in the Miami Dolphins organization next year. Now, Gronk has said openly numerous times Tom Brady is his quarterback. He could have came back, chose not to, was going to get traded to Detroit. Now, maybe it's because it's Detroit, or maybe it's strictly because Gronk only wants to play with Tom Brady. Gronk has retired before and has said he will only play for Tom Brady. That's his quarterback. If he goes down to Miami, a place that doesn't have a quarterback currently, alongside Deshaun Watson, that Miami team is really good, but that'll be intriguing to see if that's how it plays out.
Just doesn't seem like Gronk's going to leave Tom.
No way.
But Nink said it.
He did.
Nink would
And
know.
I respect-
Nink would know more than we would know. They actually say, old Nink knows.
Yep. Yeah. And he's got that condo in Miami.
Who?
Gronk.
I believe everybody who potentially is in the modeling world, which Gronk's significant other is. Probably has a place down there in Miami, if I had to guess, because that is big time winter model place.
Yeah.
You know, New York models all travel down to Miami, and then whenever spring comes back around, we're going back to the big city. That's what we're gonna do. Will anybody ever go back to New York? That's a deeper question.
It's a beautiful condo.
Where, down there in Miami?
He paid 1.7 mil for it.
It's gorgeous. It's really not that much money, right, when it comes to condos in Miami?
So far from Tampa Bay, too. I mean,
Yeah, that is quite a trip away from Tom. Are the Buccaneers trading Tom to Miami?
Oh, there we go.
We need to talk about it.
Bruce did say he liked Tua, right?
He did.
Coming out. He liked him.
Bruce.
So that's my type of quarterback.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Antonio Brown also has a condo in Miami.
Okay.
Wow.
I'll go.
Tom shacks up.
Make sure the furniture's bolted down up there. He will throw it off the top floor.
He was going through some things, okay? He's on the other side of it. But it is said he tossed the couch right out the condo.
Don't hit me in the head.
You?
I mean, I've been.
You were there?
I've been to that apartment complex. It could have.
Why were you at that apartment complex?
No, he threw it out of a Pittsburgh one, not a Miami one.
Oh, I thought he threw it out of the Miami one. He did, yeah. He did throw it out of the Miami one. You were just completely wrong.
We'll check.
Let's wait.
Checking out.
Is that Gronk's?
Oh, yeah.
Nice
On Zillow,
spread.
1.7. Is it a studio? $1.7 million, it felt like in Miami, would not get you that nice of a goddamn condo.
It's got 2 floors, too.
I mean, look at that place. That looks a lot more than one. That's good. Hey, good real estate investment by Gronk.
Yeah, he's a smart man.
3,800 square feet.
3,800 square feet, 4 beds.
Not
Damn.
bad.
So all the Gronkowskis can go down there.
Not all of that. That family is. I bet you they have. By the way, a Gronk party at that condo would be electric. Notice there's not a lot of things that can break.
Yeah.
True.
Smart. That's
Gronk
knowing your
break.
opponent, which is yourself. That's a smart move.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're not slamming their heads against the marble wall, though. You know,
The Gronks?
Yeah, get tuned up a little bit, have a couple beers, and just start slamming their head against the marble.
What you find, Diggs? Yeah, that's what I thought. No, you don't have to say it. We all knew it. Let's go to Alex in Cincinnati.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
That is, it's panoramic views he's got. He's got panoramic views of the ocean in the city. There's no way that was $1.7 million unless the person just owed Gronk something. That looks unbelievable.
Property bros
Another
would've got
unit,
3 million.
$775,000. So I'm guessing he got the best.
775,000. We should buy that stat. I mean, we are looking at places to invest. No longer in Doge, by the way. Elon Musk put a big old shovel of dirt on the dog this morning.
Yeah.
Don't love it, obviously, because we did get into the doggy coin to the dark side of the moon run. It has dropped dramatically. But Bitcoin seems to be rolling. And property near the Gronks down there in Miami look unbelievable. What do you want to talk about, Alex?
Hey, what's up, Pat boys? Love the show. How you doing? Keep it moving. I'm a raised Bengals fan. In 2008, my uncle took me to a Pittsburgh game, and I've been a Steelers fan ever since. And I got a question about the 2 biggest stooges in the NFL. Are you happy to see Antonio Brown win a ring or Le'Veon lose a ring?
2 biggest stooges in the NFL. Whoa. Alex from Cincinnati. He was a Bengals fan, then turned into a Steelers fan. He was like, you know what? Feels like this franchise is trying to win over here, and the franchise I'm a fan of, they stink. Will the Bengals ever be great? That's what I want to know. Joey Burrow seems to be look for the Russell Wilson, Matthew Stafford, Deshaun Watson situation to potentially, kind of work its way in. To Joey Burrow in Cincinnati. He's an Ohio kid. He's the perfect face, just like Russell Wilson, by the way. It'll be Team Burrow that'll say, we're about fed up with this bullshit. Yeah. Okay, we got a guy. We are tired of. That's what Team 3 did up there in Seattle, which, by the way, very interesting because they actually paid him like a couple $100 million, and he was in his video when he did that thing. But if he comes to the Colts, let's go, dude. Do what you got to do. But look for Joey Burrow to potentially be a guy. And then if that happens, will anybody – okay, long-term effect for the Bengals here. Deshaun Watson not happy? Get me out of here. Russell Wilson not happy? Get me out of here. By the way, not saying Russell said that his team did. Matthew Stafford in Detroit came to an agreement. Get me out of here. If Joey Burrow leaves the Bengals, do you think there's a potential new Eli Manning situation where somebody gets drafted? Just like we talked about with Joe Burrow, who's an Ohio kid who could have never done what Eli did, by the way. Personally, I don't think there was ever a conversation, but Team Burrow was definitely thinking about it. Do the Cincinnati Bengals potentially never have a good quarterback ever again? That's a great question. If guys are going to continue to just pick and choose where they go, look for the draft, right, to potentially change dramatically. But if you're a new quarterback or a good quarterback, you're going to have to go to a bad team. I'll be intrigued to see how all this plays out. Very, very intrigued to see how the I don't want to play here, I want to play here thing kind of unfolds, especially whenever it comes to younger guys coming into the league.
Yeah, because it hasn't happened in the draft since Eli.
Yeah, you're going to – it's
tough to do, I see.
The NFL is changing very quickly here in the last, year or so. And you would have to think that there might be more – fourth-round picks for guys potentially coming. 199, Russell Wilson, you know what I mean? Like Dak Prescott. The guys that maybe don't have as much of a, like Trevor Lawrence, for instance. If Trevor Lawrence didn't want to go wherever the hell he's projected to go to, Jacksonville, I would assume in the world that we're currently in, it would be much more accepted if he said, I don't want to do it. I want to go somewhere else.
For sure.
And everybody would be like, oh, okay. A couple years ago, Trevor does that. It's like, what have you fucking proved? Like, you have proved nothing. Okay, you go. That's what people would say. Now it's like, hey, he's right. Like, I mean, they're hiring and resigning guys in one day. They don't even know what the hell they're doing. They don't even know what they're doing down there. Never have. They got pools in the stadium. They don't care about football. People could say that, and it would be a much more, universally liked move as opposed to just 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I wonder if that'll happen ever going forward.
Well, it goes to your point about the NFL turning into a little bit more of the NBA, where it's like, okay, if guys aren't happy anymore, they can just voice their opinion and get the hell out of there.
Imagine you get drafted first overall pick. Okay, you're going to be the franchise for somebody. Nah. Who did it? Bo did it, right? Bo got drafted, chose not to, played baseball.
Yeah, yep.
He wouldn't play baseball because he didn't want to play for the team he got drafted to or whatever.
Yeah, I think it was the Bucks when they stunk.
Yeah, I'm going to go play. Nah, fuck. I'm going to go swing a stick a little bit. I'll come back later whenever there's potentially a new team in there. It feels like that could happen and be much more respected. I think that's the thing that I want to hammer home. Not saying guys should do this or anything like that. I just think it would be much more well-received if guys were to start doing this, especially with what we're seeing with already paid quarterbacks in the NFL right now. That'll be interesting, man.
Yeah.
Elway did it, and people seem to just sweep that under the rug, and no one really cared about that anymore.
Well, Elway and Eli did it back whenever there was no social media, right? Because when social media wouldn't let that just slide by.
No.
Social media would have been like, no, this guy's a dick.
Yeah.
And this franchise, he went to Colts. Colts drafted Elway, right?
Yeah.
And then he ended up leaving.
Damn.
Smack in the mouth.
Could have been.
Jim Irsay. Why'd he do that to Jim? Jim didn't deserve that. Jim was probably playing his guitar. Yeah. I assume he was squatting 500, 600 pounds at the time. Jim Irsay back in the day.
Jimmy with the Colts.
Jimmy with the Colts. Let's go to Stu over there in Montana. What's going on, Stu?
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
Hey, just hanging out, dude. What do you want to talk about today?
Hey, I was wondering what's new with the Oculus. You been playing any new games or planning on doing any streams in the arena anytime soon?
Stu, great question. And Zito asked me this last week as well. It was the first week out of football, so I was kind of, and it was Valentine's Day with the wifey. She had a full day, by the way. Shout out to my wife making yesterday a very special day. We made heart-shaped pizzas.
Oh, they look delicious.
Heart-shaped steaks.
Ooh.
We made a hand statue mold thing yesterday. We watched some movies together. I mean, it was fantastic. Exchanged gifts. It was a great day. Shout out to my wife yesterday. Now, with that being said, the streaming will have to pick back up.
Yeah.
Have I potentially lost interest? People were wondering. We all knew this day would come. We all knew this day would come. I'm losing more games in ping pong and not caring.
Yeah, okay, well.
Good news, though. The baseball game, I messaged them. They are coming out with the hitting pretty soon.
Wait, year or two, maybe? Couple months? When's that going to happen? Because
right now you can't hit the ball, but you can't see where it goes. It tells you projection, but there's a demo coming out that you'll be able to hit the ball with action.
So there is a hit button. Sports Scramble is a game where you can hit. You hit with like pool noodles and stuff and all that whole thing. I'm getting beat 15-1 in that goddamn game. They got fake ass little pudgy little outfielders.
Yeah, enough of that. We need this thing where you're taking actual hacks of lumber and it's saying, "Hey, good wood."
See,
that's a gapper right there, baby.
And I think the thing that we've learned about me is I'm not a real gamer. So like those like real in-depth games and everything like that, you're gonna lose me on that.
Yeah.
That Sports Scramble game, for instance, I was batting with a ping pong paddle at one point.
Can't do it.
I mean, and I'm throwing these pitches, and guys are just taking me fucking yard, dude. It's like they're throwing pitches at me. They're like 6 curves, and then I'm throwing just a BP to these fucking AI things. Gone. It's just I'm looking over my head the entire fucking time. I hate that game.
Yeah, no thanks.
You were playing football though. That looked pretty sweet.
Yeah, I got tired with that too because you play the throw. You got to actually throw it. Who is that? Is that me?
Seems like a wireless mic, if I had to guess.
Oh, so it's mine?
What's
going on?
In the back?
I'm guessing it was just a wireless mic.
Okay, so anyways, you got to throw the ball at these targets. I got hot. Then I got bored. I was like, all right. And then you go play the actual football game. My guys, you know when Tom last year was saying, I need you to be more explosive. I need you to be faster. I need you to get open. My little guys can't get fucking open. I'm hitting them off of their heads with the ball, dropping it. I mean, my Oculus time may have come to an end, which is a real shame because I think we have finally gotten in touch with the Oculus people.
Yeah. Well, you had a hell of a run.
I think so. Nobody could have expected me to be in that thing that long.
No.
I might get back in there. I might dabble.
You should. You're a gamer.
I lost to a guy in ping pong. It was like 11-9 and 12-10.
Oh, those are devastating.
I just waved to him. Got out of the room.
Fuck this.
Get me out of here. It's a shame. Anyways, we will charge ahead. Hour 2 is wrapping up here. Hour 3, we'll see Adam Pac-Man Jones.
Let's go.
2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, about 35 minutes from now. AJ Hawk will be joining us, former teammate of Adam. We'll kind of clarify, hopefully, some things that popped off this weekend in his life that led to some headlines. We'll also more of your phone calls and everything else going on in the world. This is the Pat McAfee Show, Monday, February 15th. You got about 6 minutes. Cheers.
Let's do Fade Foxy. I'm not seeing any national NBA games that are on TV, so I don't think you're
you did
going
exactly
there.
what I did. Yeah, I looked at the NBA slate. No national games. I don't know how that happens.
Oh, but there is a top 20 matchup on ESPN. The only national game tonight, Virginia at Florida State.
Here we go.
Foxy.
My first college basketball pick.
Let's do it.
We got Virginia against Florida State. Virginia's an underdog. Take that money line plus 105.
Hold on. What's going on? Who we betting on? Florida State?
No.
Take Virginia
getting
money
1.5
line. They're
at
dogs.
Florida
They're getting
State.
1.5.
Yeah, but I just like the money
Gumpy
line.
and I were both
I
on
mean,
Virginia.
Virginia 4-1-1 against the spread their last 6 road
Attaboy,
games.
Fox.
Good pick.
Attaboy, Foxy.
5-2 against the spread their last 7 as a road
That's a
dog.
Foxy ball.
And the underdog in this matchup is 5-2 against the spread last 7.
Boom. Foxy
I
bomb.
can't
Let's go.
believe
Foxy bombs.
That was my pick of the night.
Gump's on
Yeah,
it.
that's Gump. That's Foxy's pick of the night, too.
Toad, are you on it too?
I am.
Yeah.
All aboard.
Choo choo. The Foxy train is leaving the station.
Which now I'm.
Leaving the station. Welcome aboard, boys.
Now it's just.
The train is fine. We've been winning over here.
Virginia's a really good team, and they're getting points, and they're on the road, and they're not bad on the road. But now that's a red flag, and there's another red flag because they're getting 60% of the money, but they win from a pick'em, and they're
just put in
potentially
a
going to
rather
go.
large bet. Make it 65% of the money if I do.
I mean,
Hey, that's a household name. You gotta pick him tonight.
Virginia on Mondays too.
Oh, on Mondays.
21-7-1 against the spread their last
Good
20.
Monday.
Come out of the weekend, boys. They fucking lock it down. They don't go out at all.
I
Mondays,
can't
they are
believe
ready.
They
this
love Monday.
Hey, who loves Mondays? Gary V, Virginia basketball
Cavs
team.
do. Virginia Cavs love Mondays.
Yeah, love it. Let's go.
Let's
So
go.
do me and Foxy and Gumpy and Diggs. Let's go.
All right, the train's leaving.
See you, Foxy.
You have got to experience so many things, both as a businessman off the field and on the field. Is there a moment when I ask this question and pops your mind, like, what's the craziest shit you've ever seen in your entire life? Because there was a time there where it felt like you were just getting dropped into insane situations and the world was like watching you do things. Man vs. Wild, you and that Bear Grylls guy, fucking electric. That was maybe the most electric shit I've ever seen. Is there anything that you think of whenever you think, like, what's the most ridiculous thing you've been a part of?
Probably some of the most ridiculous shit I ever been a part of was, I had got the restaurant which I'm in right now, and when we first got it, I would come in here and I would clean up and go outside in the front, sweep up, make sure everything looked nice and shit. And one morning I got up here and I noticed, damn, this is a funky ass smell. And I looked, to the side of my front door, and it's a big ass pile of shit. And I'm talking about human shit.
Yeah,
and it's right on the side of the door. So I was like, somebody done came and popped the shit right in front of the door. Like, oh, this shit is crazy. Like, I can't be in here serving food. Motherfucker come walk in and they smelling straight ass cheeks when they come in there. Like, I don't think that's the restaurant I need to eat in. So, man, I get the water hose and I'm hosing it down. And, I see, we got a couple, dolphins that usually walk back up in front. Hey, man, did you do this? Like, oh, no. So, one of them owned up to it. I said, look, man, check it out. So you don't do this no more. Look, you come by here, we get you we get you a broom and, you help us, we help you. You feel me? And, we put together a little, I put a proposition together for him and I ain't cleaning up shit no more.
It's a win-win. It's a win for everybody on that one. Hey, one of your former teammates. Yeah, hey, everybody wins. You're helping the people, man. That's awesome. That's why people love you. But hey,
one of them owned up to it. Just a line of questioning. The line of questioning.
His name was Willie. Willie owned up to. Matter of fact, he just left out. He said, sweeping up. He like, hey, what's up? Oh boy, I've been looking for you. You feel? Okay. Yeah, we bust down together up in the front of the restaurant to get it all cleaned up and everything.
Hey, you're helping people. Hey, Willie went from shitting outside to working inside. Let's go.
Yeah. All right.
Let's go, Willie. Let's go.
Give it up for my boy Willie, man.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show. It is the third hour on this Monday, February 15th, 2021. This is going to be a big hour. Oh, yeah. Hey, big hour. Happy President's Day to you.
You too.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. And also with you, Connor.
Oh, you too.
Big happy President's Day to the guy that's about to join us from Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, former Buckeye, won a national championship with them, former Packer and Bengal and Falcon. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk.
Hey,
what's going on, AJ?
What's going on, man? Are you have you calmed down? I saw the beginning of the show.
I was getting attacked.
Fired up. I like it, man. I think it's good. You're showing a little passion.
Well, it's not a little passion. I was having a great fucking weekend, though, and all of a sudden I got this shit popping off where they're just taking clips out of context and trying to bury me. It's like, all right, I don't normally go into things like this, but I was having a great Valentine's Day. I was having a great day. Made heart-shaped pizzas, heart-shaped steaks. Okay, we made a hand mold. I was having the day of my life with my wife, and then all of a sudden I just start getting attacked by these people because of the way clips were edited and placed in a fashion to paint a narrative. That's completely bullshit. And I normally don't like to do this because it's a little bit negative or whatever, but I finally this morning, as we're going live on air, I said, fuck it. I'm not happy about this. I'm going to take a stand for myself, and which normally I'm just like, whatever, bygones be bygones. But fuck that entire Twitter account, to be honest.
I guess I need to go look to see what this person was saying to you. Are you really that upset that they think your take on the Raiders is bad?
No. But I mean, I did have a great day on Twitter yesterday, and then like littered in between there would be some Raiders stooge coming in like blah blah blah. It's like, all right, that's not even an accuracy. I don't really care that much. I mean, a little bit. I mean, it got a lot out of me, I guess. I mean, I got a lot out of me. But Valentine's Day, I get 2 random calls from local stooge wanting me to do something. Then I got Raiders people coming after me. It's like, hey, I'm trying to have a goddamn day with my wife, okay? Can we think about romance for 1 second, AJ? You know what I mean?
I guess. I mean, you could also say, like, hey, you could think about romance if you just put your phone on the charger and didn't look at it. That's another way you could handle it.
Yeah, but how will people know what I'm watching?
Good point.
Great point.
Hey, got a little give and take. I guess that's your life, man.
What we have to remember is if I don't tweet about it, there's a good chance that I won't remember it whenever this show comes to be. So the boys, Foxy, Diggs, I kind of send out tweets, and Foxy's like, okay, got to find pictures for this. Mitt starts putting together graphics for the show. It's kind of like, it's almost like that's our pre-show. It's like, hey, this is what's going on. Elisa Lamb, rest in peace. Okay, no spoilers, but kind of could have only been 1 episode. You know, I got to put out a tweet about the Cecil Hotel. So it's like, okay, this is what I was doing this week. Brittany was that Brittany doc was alarming. Okay, so now the boys know, okay, probably should know about this. It's kind of like research throughout the day. And then as I get on my phone, I start going through, you know, some people will tweet me interesting things. I got all these Raiders people coming after me. I'm like, what the fuck is this all of a sudden? Normally my internet is a pretty positive place. And then, you know, on the day of love and romance and, you know, something that's supposed to be positive, you know, a made-up holiday that is turned into this incredible day was ruined by this one Twitter account. And that's why I had to do what I had to do. And that's why I have to tweet. It's for the good of the show, the same one that you appear on every day. So maybe a little bit more respect for the show, AJ Hawk.
I saw where you were going with that. And you know what? It makes sense that's how it works. It helps you out in multiple ways. You can tweet, you give this great information out to people, all your followers, and then all of the boys can say, all right, this is what his brain is going over. We know it's going to be erased from his brain in 6 seconds from now, so let's document this. It makes a lot of sense, but where did you – I didn't see where – did you tweet about Mitch McConnell shoving his 75-year-old body climbing into the side of a NASCAR door? Like, who did that one?
So it's funny you say that. I did not watch the end of it. I didn't even know Mitch McConnell was a race car driver until this morning. We had to do What's that?
He's not.
Yeah, funny. He's kind of built like a turtle, to be honest, which is the complete opposite of NASCAR. You think real slow, real fast. You know what I mean? It's 2 different settings on my lawnmower that I have. That is commercial Z-turn. It's like turtle at the beginning, and then they have NASCAR at the top. It's 2 polar opposites. I was confused as well. I did not know that Mitch McConnell was a NASCAR driver until Diggs told me this morning when we recorded Hammer Don before the show instead of after the show, because we have to get home immediately following the show because it is coming down out there. T's and P's, by the way, to all the boys getting home, because we are leaving immediately following this show because it's supposed to just keep dumping. So he said it on Hammer Down. I don't want to point fingers, but there was one person that said that, and Diggs knows that if you put something in there, I mean, it's going to stick around. That's just the way it goes.
So what is the guy's name that actually won the race?
Mitch McDowell.
Michael McDowell.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know it was actually that close to Mitch McConnell. So, but I don't know. I heard it was great. When I saw the part where Diggs said, no, finding out he was the
well, I knew that I knew that I was incorrect when we recorded Hammer Down. I didn't know Pat was going to take that information, which I should have known, and then say it on his show.
Listen.
So I had to then quickly look, because I thought it was originally from Wedding Crashers. Mitch whatever it is not from Wedding Crashers.
Mitch McConnell?
I don't know.
Which was which? Now, Mitch Loschletter is,
Mitch
I believe.
Kumstein.
Mitch Kumstein is what it was.
Excuse me?
What? He was night putting.
Okay. Anyways, we have a couple rules that we live by here in this show, okay? And this is kind of, and by the way, Diggs gave his best effort. Hey, that's the best answer I heard all morning. And nobody else was telling fucking Mitch McDowell. And immediately following that interview, I think Clint Boyer buried him. I think it was Clint Boyer was like, oh, I see Keselowski's trying out new jokes or whatever. It was I enjoyed watching yesterday, okay? And Keselowski, I immediately became a fan of every other driver as soon as he said that, the comment he said or whatever. But it's nice to know that he was in it towards the end. I would have known him. This McDowell character, 370 races, the guy's never won. He's winning Daytona all of a sudden. What a fucking American dream.
Yeah, real.
Good for Mitch.
Hey, didn't they? What happened? Like two teammates. Whose fault was it that wrecked somebody else at the very end?
So Logano and that was at like what 1 a.m. when this was happening.
Yeah.
So it was hard. I kind of caught up. Two teammates crashed each other, caused a big one. Mitch McConnell snuck in through the middle, got a big win. He wins the Daytona. Kyle Busch probably going to go on and win that thing if that doesn't happen. The Candyman, in 18 or whatever, he probably goes on to win that. The only race he hasn't won, by the way, is the Daytona. Thought it was the right time for him to come in there and do that. But yeah, crashes gotten away, which, by the way, to Ty's point in the group text yesterday, those crashes that look very terrible is a big reason why a large majority of people.
This is why we watch. You hate to see it. Hey, everyone was okay, though. But it did. I mean, there was at one point, one of those crashes, it looked like 6 or 7 of those cars exploded. It's just like, there's no way these guys' bodies aren't just charred. And then they just pop out like nothing happened, and they're good.
I was watching NASCAR yesterday, and I was actually watching it. And kind of intrigued. My wife, who's a diehard IndyCar fan because she's from Indianapolis, normally shits on NASCAR, because they're much slower cars. They're going like 40 to 50 mile an hour slower than Indy cars are. And the IndyCar rockets that people get in is just, NASCAR drivers also insane, but if you have never seen IndyCar, it's two different styles of racing. In IndyCar, the Indy 500 here in Indianapolis, where 300, 400,000 people flock to Indiana to watch this thing, they are actually strapping themselves to rockets, and then they're just driving, and those things explode. They go. NASCAR race yesterday, I was watching, my wife also watching. I was thoroughly intrigued by it. I was enjoying it. I was having a blast watching it, and I was like, you know why I'm actually giving this any time of day? Because the quarantine, I think, set us up to be like, hey, anything is better than nothing. And I was actually digesting that NASCAR race yesterday. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll watch another one this year. Maybe I will give this thing a go. If they race at 10 o'clock at night when nothing else is really on, except for Lakers, Denver or whatever, that's a good idea too. Maybe they get the midnight train going, do that whole thing. But I will watch NASCAR, I think, this year. And I think it's because of the quarantine where we didn't have shit to watch for so long.
I mean, I feel like maybe early on. Remember when didn't ESPN start to air early on in the quarantine? Everyone was so pumped. Baseball from
Korea. Yeah. The dinosaurs, by the way, they don't fuck around. Yeah. You do not bet against the dinosaurs in the Korean baseball organization.
But how long did the excitement last for that? Like a day and a half, maybe?
No, it was 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks. And the reason why the excitement completely wore off for that one is they all stunk at baseball. And I think that is potentially a little bit troubling. And baseball is a tough sport to watch to begin with, let alone when they stink, right, Ty?
Yeah, I mean, every single one of the guys was basically throwing, 87, 88 miles an hour. And it's like every once in a while they're being American in there. That guy's always really good, but he kind of washed out from the majors. So it wore off. When you don't know who any of the guys are, it's tough to care.
That's why Kyle Busch needs to start winning, because I know who Kyle is, and I'll stay invested. Now, if these Mitch McConnell likes keep winning, I'll probably have to turn it off. But maybe Mitch McConnell becomes the guy this year.
He could
Maybe we're witnessing the birth of a brand new driver, McDowell.
What an amazing second career for McConnell there, huh?
I did see who Mitch McConnell was via a Zito graphic.
He looks like a NASCAR driver, doesn't he?
That was not the guy that won the Daytona 500 yesterday. We were wrong on that one. But the brain, by the way, if something's said, it is a sponge. So I have to pick and choose who I listen to talk, what I see, because if it gets in there, it's going to be in there. When's it going to come out? Nobody knows, but it's going to come out at some point, which is, I'm like a child that's learning words. Can't really say things around me. I'm going to repeat them. That's just how it is. Always been this way. It's how I got through school. I'd listen to people talk about something. Okay, I'm going to remember that exactly, word for word. And let's hope that they don't fuck me over there. And it got me, through school and everything like that. But it also is potentially a downfall of this show. If it gets in there, it's coming out. And that's why there's a lot of discipline by the boys. I appreciate the boys. Before the show, when we're walking in here, there's probably a couple jokes that potentially want to be made or, ridiculous statements, but they know if that goes out, it's probably going to come out again. You know what I mean? Hey, what did you say? No, that wasn't. We avoid those things. That's why you got to watch who you let in, AJ. You got to watch who you let in. For instance, I got all the faith in the world in Diggs. Diggs does so much research. Okay, literally, Diggs does so much research. He knows a lot of what's going on. So whenever he drops a Mitch McConnell out there, I'm like, fucking lock it in. I didn't expect that to be the guy's name either. And you can see how our show potentially stinks and sucks sometimes, like today.
I'm normally very careful.
You have to.
Yeah.
The snow's got me all giddy, so I was...
COVID cowboy about to take the pony out. This must be 7 to 8 inches right now out here.
Yeah, I guess they're in Ohio. There was a little bit last night, and then it's supposed to start. I think it's about to start now and snow all night.
You got to keep them windshield wipers up, by the way.
Yep.
Last night I had to go out to the truck, lift the windshield wipers up. I did put windshield wiper fluid in the truck last week.
Nice.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Something must have happened from
that's
from tub of shit to actual windshield. Can't get there.
That's not
I
good.
just held that thing in there. I'm like, what?
You got a clog?
Just dumped it in. You think? I thought it
Sounds
potentially
like it.
frozen and broke.
You may have poured it. You may have poured the fluid into the wrong tank.
Yeah, it wasn't me. It was Tim.
I was gonna say I saw Tim doing it.
It was
I
Tim
think
McAfee.
He won't make that. He wouldn't make that mistake.
No, Tim would never do that.
Nuh-uh.
No. Did you ever? Is your truck too big to pull in the garage?
Yeah. The Bentley sits outside. Right now, Bentley's just collecting ice.
What's in the garage?
Stairmaster, obviously. Tesla. Motors, a dirt bike I've never been able to turn on.
Golf cart.
Motorcycle, golf cart. But not the Bentley or the truck or the Audi that the wife drives. So.
Or the Shelby.
Or the Shelby. Shelby's sitting outside too. Oh shit! Shelby's in trouble. That thing's probably not gonna be able to start. I'm watching.
Does your dad come?
What's that?
Does Tim come over and like make sure everything's all right and start the cars every once in a while and get
Tim?
all your stuff running?
No. Tim doesn't touch the cars. He would,
Okay.
by the way. If I was to give him a car, he'd be like, "Let me rebuild this thing." He loves doing that. I just let him sit. I rest them. I rest them through the winter. They hibernate in the driveway, and then we just move along. You know what I mean? There's great people, cars, just come and do the whole thing with that. The Shelby I haven't been in years. I have not driven that thing in years. I should put that away because the Mecum auctions, I've been watching that now. Because, now that there isn't live sports on as much. And by the way, Hulu doesn't have live sports. I was on Hulu the other day, couldn't find a fucking thing.
Yeah.
Jeez. I know they don't just have live sports. It's a lifestyle. Shout out to Dame. By the way, Dame time last night over Dallas.
Hell yeah.
He's a great rapper. That's a good thing. I didn't have my cable this weekend. I went to Hulu. They have live sports. I couldn't find a fucking thing over there. So shout out to Hulu doing that entire thing. Have no idea where we're headed. No idea.
Liars, huh?
Mecum auction.
Oh, yeah. I've been watching a lot of that. I've been watching a lot of Mecum auctions. There was a car that went for maybe $1.4 million the other day. Some Ferrari or Lambo. I forget what it was.
It's probably Enzo Ferrari.
It was a 2017. It was souped up. It looked like a Batmobile.
Oh.
Yeah, as soon as it strolled across, I'm like, happy I'm not there with a pad. That thing's coming home. Could never drive it in Indiana. Potholes here are very bad, but it would have been nice. AJ,
Ford GT.
You collect cars?
I do not. No, it's not really my thing.
You just have one car and it's a lease from that Ohio State Legend dealership?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right now that's what, It's a rotating. I got a backup cam now. I didn't have a backup cam on my last vehicle.
I love cars.
He has the slingshot that he fucking just rips around in the summertime.
He wanted to give to us during the winter.
During the winter.
Yeah.
AJ Hawk will have it for the 3 months of summer, and then we were wondering as soon as winter came if you would like to take it. And by the way, it's for free. You're welcome. It has no roof, and it has rear wheel drive, only one rear wheel, and you will be on ice. But it's free. Just give us a little bit of love. AJ loves it. AJ tweets about it all the time. What was that all about?
I tweeted about it once. I did what was required to have that thing for a couple months. It was fun. I mean, I have no need to have one, but it was cool to have.
How about in the winter? Is that a good car for the winter?
It's not a good car if it's below like 60 degrees probably. You're gonna be flying and you're 6 inches off the ground too.
Oh, yeah, because you are riding real low. I'll never buy one just strictly because they wanted us to have it in the middle of winter and acting like they were doing us a favor.
Yeah.
Come on.
Hey, thanks, dude. Appreciate that. Actually, the other one, I like the inverted one. There's a bike that's kind of built like the what's it called? It's called something. I was going to buy it. Two in the front? Yeah.
T-Rex?
No, I forget what its name is.
It's kind of what old guy. Isn't that what like 70-year-olds
So
strap
the-
their old lady to the back and go around the country?
So the trikes, like the geezer glider is what they call them. 2 in the back, 1 in the front, right? And back in the day, I used to have a neighbor that had one of those that would ride it in his backyard. Them sons of bitches flip, okay? If you really want to get those going, the 2 in the back, you can kind of get it. You can do that whole thing. But then Can-Am came around and flipped the game out. I wanted to buy one of those because it looked like that donuts on that thing with 2 in the front. You could probably... You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some good ones.
Do that thing. Oh.
What about that dirt bike? You don't want to get someone over there to check it?
Well, at this point, the battery's been dead since day one of owning it, and I do not have the battery jumper for that thing. And to be honest, I don't know how to get to it. I think it's pretty deep down inside of the bike, which is, as you probably guessed it, problematic. That thing it is brand new. That thing has 0.0 miles on it. It was an incredible gift because all I wanted to do was I wanted to come down through downtown Indianapolis, Rough Riders Anthem,
stop
with
hit a wheelie
going down the middle of downtown Indianapolis. My wife bought it for me for Christmas, was like, here you go, this is fun. And I have not been able to start it one time, probably for the betterment of everybody in here, if I had to guess. What's that, Nick?
Remember when AJ had that slingshot and he was going to let us borrow it in December?
Oh, no, Nick.
Oh, I was sending a tweet.
Yeah. Nick was working.
Hey, baby Nick.
Sorry, I just didn't want to miss my chance to get a dig in it.
Yeah. You did, though, by the way. You did miss. We were all kind of. And I'm bummed that you missed that, to be honest, because that is a real shining time for you every single day.
Yeah. You're lucky this time, Hawk.
Someone in the back room should have helped you out.
Hey, did you hear Pac-Man's coming on here in like 10 minutes? You were teammates with Pac, right?
Yeah, for a year. Oh, that's awesome. He's calling in, 2:30?
Yeah, I believe 2:30. We'll be talking to him a little bit to clear up some things that happened in Cincinnati last night, or 2 nights ago. Do we know? Is that last night or 2 nights ago?
I was looking at videos. I couldn't find it, so it must have been more than 2 days, if I had to guess.
Oh, really? You're saying it was potentially Friday night?
That's if I had to guess, yeah. But
we did do a deep geo-tag search, Zito did, for videos in the area the nights that it could have potentially happened to see if we could find a video from our internet. So it was last night.
Yeah.
It was literally last night.
Damn.
So it was last night. It happened this morning. He's out. I talked to him. He is definitely not in jail right now, which is good news.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to hear what happened, AJ. He was the only dude that got arrested.
And where was he? Do we know?
Clutch, I believe, is the place he was at. That was put out by Pro Football Focus's Mike Renner, formerly on The Bachelorette.
Yeah.
We met him whenever we started this thing up. He's an incredible writer. He's very, very talented. He lives in Cincinnati, and he got a text from a source last night that said Pac-Man just knocked out the bouncer at Clutch. So that is all we really know because the internet told us that. Adam will obviously tell us a lot more, AJ.
I know. I'm excited. I'm sure he's excited, too, to get his side of the story out.
You never hear that with Pac-Man, by the way. Normally, his side never really gets out. In this particular case, we'll be able. Now listen, Adam has been a part of some incredibly hilarious moments. The Popeyes chicken bag in the Atlanta airport knockout was talked about because every time he gets in trouble, obviously they reference every single situation that's ever happened to him. That he didn't start that fight, by the way. Somebody came and started that fight with him. He ended it with a bag of chicken in his hand still, all recorded on film with an Atlanta airport employee, by the way. So maybe this is another situation like that where hopefully somebody will have it on film where he was just defending himself maybe. I don't know. We don't know anything about the situation.
There's got to be footage of it somewhere. I mean, I feel like everything, there's so many cameras and Ring doorbells. And if it's at a nightclub, they should have 15 cameras there.
And Ring doorbells has been quite a gift to the internet, has it not?
Oh, yeah.
Simply
really
Safe, Ring doorbells, these new security systems that have 4K cameras somehow. Because remember, all these security cameras, if you watch Dateline or any of these documentaries, these security cameras used to be like 420p, basically. It was maybe the lowest of quality anything. That's why I thought for sure that's why we haven't seen a clear picture of Bigfoot, because Mitch Hedberg said, seems like Bigfoot's potentially just blurry, because all the photos back in the day in stream cameras and alarm and security cameras, they're so terrible. You watch Dateline and a detective will be like, this is the guy that killed the person. All right, let's zoom in on it. And it literally just looks like a Simpsons character, but with like graphs are like, well, we can't use this because we don't know. Nowadays, Ring, Simply Safe, somehow they've just made it like HD, almost 4K, where you get to see everything. It has been a gift to the internet.
Well, that's what I always say. I don't know how people get away with. How do you get away with like Billy? How do you get away with killing people? How do you get away with robbing houses?
AJ, all right, we got to get to a
Why, AJ?
Billy, because the car is always like picked up. Oh, this random house. The car that was stolen we saw it picked up on this neighbor's Ring cam. Like, it's just really difficult now, I think. Billy?
Hey, Billy didn't deserve that. Billy's just sitting back there working his ass off.
Yeah.
I was
Jerk.
asking because he's the internet guy. Like, all the algorithms that he can put together. That's how they grab this footage.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of people that didn't deserve a shot, Ariel Helwani, friend of the show. Listen, we're okay with Ariel coming on here and smacking him in the mouth a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? When he comes in here and starts, he got a shot taken at him out of nowhere at all. He was just I assume he was just hanging out or whatever. For whatever reason, he's not on ESPN's UFC coverage, which he's like the biggest MMA guy out there, and he works at ESPN, UFC's there. So he's not on there. A couple other guys were. I mean, I'm sure they do their job great, but it would have been nice as I was watching the prelims on Saturday night before Usman ends that fight in the third round and I make $4,000 off it because I'm an MMA sharp at this point. But as I'm watching, they cut to like a studio show and Ariel's not there. I'm like, this makes no sense. Why would you not have Ariel on there? And then as I'm learning about this thing, he and Dana, I guess that is a very deep dislike. I don't think Ariel deserved that shot. I feel like ESPN should have potentially been like, hey, this is our guy. I understand UFC's our guy. Maybe we can, maybe we can get this thing back together. But I don't like that Ariel's just taking those ricochet shots out of nowhere. He's our guy, AJ. If I want to bury Ariel, I feel like that, that's okay. But I'm low man stooge, okay? Whenever, he starts taking shots, I didn't like that. Especially Ariel, I think he didn't want to talk about the Gina situation. I watched that whole video because, there was people sending out tweets like, we're on Team Ariel and everything like that. I'm like, what the fuck happened? I actually called Ariel and I was like, well, are you okay? I thought he was potentially going through COVID or something like that. I'm like, are you okay? Like, what is everybody? And he gave me the whole rundown and then I went back and watched it. I was like, oh, okay. So this is just kind of a shot out of nowhere for a guy, Ariel.
Well, that's Dana. That's how Dana's brain works, don't you think? They ask him a question and they go, how about Ariel? They're making it all about himself. And, what?
Called him a douche. Out there.
Their rift goes back some time. Dana's gone at him many times. It just always seems to happen, especially when Ariel would grab the mic and ask a question in a press conference back in the day.
Well, I just want to let everybody know, I'm on Ariel's side. And I believe that particular situation is everything Ariel has to talk about. It was a fighter. It involved the Holocaust. It involved a lady that he had done work. I feel like as a Jewish MMA journalist, he probably had to talk about that. Now, the way he went about talking about it, maybe people were like, shouldn't have done it, but that feels like, I don't know. I hope they get along there someday. Let's put our swords down, huh? We can help each other out.
Seriously.
Seriously. 27 minutes into the hour here. We got to get to a break. Adam Pac-Man Jones is on the other side.
Yes.
What happened? Can't wait to chat with him. Be a friend, tell a friend. We'll see you in 4 minutes. Hello and welcome to Office Championship Wrestling live in Indianapolis, Indiana. Tonight we have a straight to hell match in which the devil will battle against our office wrestler, Dylan Boston. You might be wondering how we got here. Let's find out right now. And now we have to make a deal with the devil.
Yeah, no big deal. Classic trial by combat situation. We got our champion, Dylan Bostic. All he's got to do, win the match, 1, 2, 3, and we're home safe.
The only man that would take the job to protect us from the devil himself, Dylan Bostic.
Like you mentioned, Pat, there's probably about 5 or 6 other guys we'd rather have in this position. But we'll take Bostic, I guess.
Not only are all of our souls on the line, the Office Championship Wrestling Championship, presented by Natural Light, is also on the line.
Jesus, the devil's trying to put Bostic straight to hell!
I do not want to go to
Good God,
hell!
no!
Don't do it!
Good God, no! Come on, Bostic, Pat!
Oh, no! Oh, my...
I'll see you in hell, Pat. The goddamn Easter Bunny's out here! What the hell's he doing here?
The Easter Bunny is obviously here to help Dylan Bostic. Wait a minute. No!
No!
The Easter Bunny's been on the devil's side this whole time. Jesus Christ! Jesus Christ!
What the hell's Jesus Christ doing here?
The power of Christ is compelling Dylan Bostic.
Look at this, Pat! Jesus Christ is bringing Bostic back to life! Jesus is going insane, and now Bostic's kicking wholesale ass in the ring.
Jesus Christ has come to help Dylan Bostic defeat the devil and defeat the Easter Bunny. What's going to happen here?
Good God Almighty, it looks like he's going up in the scissor lift.
Jesus is lifting the scissor lift. Jesus is now telling Bostic to come down.
Don't do it, Bostic! Don't do it! Oh, my God!
Oh,
Bostic's dead! He's dead! You can't tell from home, but that scissor lift is about 8 stories up, Pat!
80 feet in the air! Oh, wait! He's tuning up the bed! The devil!
Super kick! Into the casket! The devil goes down! The devil goes down!
He shuts the casket!
And that's
Back to
it!
hell! The devil goes straight back to hell, where he belongs!
With the assist from Jesus Christ of Nazareth!
Dylan Bostic saves the PMI office's souls and wins the OCW championship right here on our first OCW Straight to Hell.
Every day is game day for these guys. It's showtime on the Pat McAfee Show.
You're damn right. I just want to let you know that Current is the new way to bank. It's a mobile bank with a Visa debit card. Current is great because they help you. Get you paid up to 2 days faster. There are no hidden fees or minimum balance requirements. Free overdraft of up to $100. Instant refunds on gas station holds. Earn points on purchases that are redeemable for cash. It's the only card that does that. It only takes 2 minutes to sign up and card ship for free. You can go to current.com/McAfee Show, MCAFEEE. No, just 2 E's there. Show. There's also a link in the description. AJ Hawk is currently joining us. Shout out to you, AJ. How you doing, pal?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Well, we've called Pac-Man, I believe, a couple times here. I'm not sure he has answered. We are waiting. What if he what if somebody got a hold? It was like, hey, do not go on the air right now. Come on. By the way, I would be very understanding if that was the case.
Yeah. Who would that person be? Who would come after him and say, "Don't do this"?
That's interesting. I assume, what's that?
A lawyer, maybe?
A lawyer.
I would assume a lawyer. Maybe we shouldn't have announced it. You know, because this could potentially make him look better. As soon as I got in trouble, by the way, I got driven home by the same guy that represented Mike Tyson when he got into a rather serious case here in Indiana. He was the guy that came into the Colts my rookie season and says, if you ever see me again, it's not good. I get escorted out after a public intoxication situation. And I see him standing at the end of the hallway and I go, not good, obviously. We go into the court within the jail there. I'm sitting there next to him. He said, we're going to get you out of this, you know? And I go, what is this, dude? Like, I thought, just 12 hours ago, I would assume that they would have drove me home and this everything. Instead, I was shackled. I was in solitary confinement. What the hell did they find on? Did I have a bunch of drugs? What did they? And he goes, oh, you're going to be okay or whatever. And then the judge reads off like, hey, public intoxication, and then reads could be punished up to, I think it was like jail time maybe. And I was like, what? Like excuse me? And he's like, please be quiet. We get in the car. We're driving. He remember has me go out that back door, but the media had already learned that I was going out the back door. You see, because the media was out front. He said, "Let's go out the back." Seems like somebody told the media, "Hey, he's going out the back," because they were turning the corner as I was going out there. I get in his car. He hands me a card, right? And reintroduces himself, basically. You know, I saw you last year at the rookie, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And on the back of it, it says, "Don't say anything." So I believe that is probably the person that potentially reached out to Adam Jones. Somebody said, "Don't say anything."
Was that printed on his business card, or was that something he wrote on the back of it for you?
It was on his business card. It was on his business card. He handed it to me, and he was like, "Don't say anything." And then he told me, "Your tweet's already making grounds," and it was bye week. I said, "Can't wait to enjoy the hell out of you." And the local media was like, "Did he enjoy it a little bit too much?" And he's like, "You just need to stop talking completely." Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, a man who will hopefully clarify some things that are being said about him, former Tennessee Titan, Dallas Cowboy, Cincinnati Bengal, All-American at West Virginia, top 10 pick, ladies and gentlemen, Adam Pac-Man Jones. What's up, dude?
What's up, brothers? How y'all doing?
Okay, so first things first. This morning we woke up and all we see is a headline about Adam Pac-Man Jones, obviously salacious headline, punched a guy, kicked a guy, damn near killed a guy, a lot of people saying. I was getting a lot of tweets, obviously, because you've been on the show. People know that we know each other. And I reach out directly to you. I say, "Adam, you all right?" You respond, "I'm Gucci." And then I say, "Will you come on the show?" Here you are, Adam. Are you okay? Are you good? You don't look like a guy who seems to be coming out of a massive hangover or anything like that. You seem to be okay. What happened last night?
All right, so Pac, on the records, the reason why I'm not drinking out in public or doing nothing because of situations like this, because normally it's all Pac was dead ass drunk or da 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 da, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
we was at a place called Clutch, and we went in. We was having a great time. So I go up to the DJ booth to talk to the DJ booth, the DJ dude. So this one particular bouncer, all right, so last week we was at another club, and this same guy was normally drunk, so the security guard put him out. Now, remind you, he's a bouncer at a competitive club, which is Clutch.
Okay.
All right, so I'm just giving you a little history of why the hate is going on.
Got it.
So I go up and talk to the DJ. I got my little brother and one of his friends there, and my wife. So as I'm talking to the DJ, I have my back turned. You know what I mean? So like how the club is, you got to step up a step. If I'm talking to the DJ right here, the club is back here. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
All right, so I'm talking to the DJ, asking him to play a couple songs. Now, remind you, I don't get to see what's going on behind me.
What songs?
Young Thug.
Okay.
The Baby.
Okay.
Lil Baby.
Okay. All right.
Jacquees.
Okay.
I was trying to get a little Jacquees in there, you know what I'm saying? It's Valentine's Day.
Yeah, gotta do what you gotta do. Love, romance.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, got it.
I'm trying to end the night right. So I don't get this is my little brother right here.
What's up, man?
So I can't really see exactly what was going on behind me because I was talking to the DJ. Now the bouncer dude came in like, everybody got to get the fuck out of here. Now remind you, my dude just put him out of the spot that we was in the week before that.
Yep.
So it's almost like a revenge thing. But at the time, I don't even hear the dude what he's saying the shit because I'm talking to the DJ. All right, so they got whatever going on. He tugged my little brother. And when I turn around, they already on the float. So I separate them. And he said, "Hey, y'all want a motherfucking fight?" Before you say y'all want a motherfucking fight, that's when punches and chairs, whatever they was throwing. And personally, Pat, I'm done fighting, bro. Like, unless somebody want to pay me, I'm cool with it. I'll fight any celebrity, 169, 170. But, man, I got kids. I got so much other shit that I'm working on besides be beating the motherfucker up in the club.
Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit more, because as soon as your name pops up, it seems like the easiest thing to do is, here's Pac-Man putting himself in a terrible position. I assume everybody thought you were incredibly drunk as well, but in this particular...
Well, you know for sure, and I know, if I was drunk, they would have charged me with what?
Public intoxication, which I went to jail for.
Every time I've been drunk, they've charged me every freaking time. I've never had a time where I haven't been drunk that they didn't charge me for public intoxication.
Okay, do you think your reputation precedes you here whenever this whole thing happens? Like, for instance, after the fight happens, you're the only one that got into any trouble? I assume there was numerous people in the fight.
As you see, I'm the only one. They basically, I don't know what they called and told the police, but I was in my Rolls Royce, had about to pull out and boxed in. So, and I'm the only one got charged with anything.
You were driving the Rolls Royce?
Yeah.
So you would have got a DUI if you were drunk there. So you
there you go.
So you didn't get a DUI. You get
Didn't
into
get a DUI.
They call basically probably the club calls, more specifically bouncer calls, says, hey, this is what happens. You get kind of locked up. The headlines are Adam Pac-Man Jones punches and kicks guy till he's unconscious. But what you're saying is chairs are flying, fight was already happening. You got dragged into it after separating the two.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good case.
And the bad part about it, like,
you got a pretty good case.
People are always cool, Pat. Like, I don't have a problem with going to nowhere in Cincinnati. AJ can amend that for me. But, like, I don't have a problem going nowhere. Like, I don't have a problem with nobody. Like, that's why home is Cincinnati. You get what I'm saying? It's not like I'm running around trying to be something that I ain't. I'm not on that. You get what I'm saying?
Hey, Pac, with all this going on, it sounds like it was obviously very noticeable for the rest of the people. Have you found any footage that would help you out?
I'm quite sure it was footage, and it should show one of me up when it first start and when it ends. Now I'm gonna tell you I did what I needed to do now, and I ain't boosting the bragging because that ain't where I'm at right now. But yeah, you should be able to see all of that.
Hey, Pac. It shouldn't be my favorite moment, okay? You're electrifying, obviously, on a football field, defense, punt return, offense, and everything like that. But in that article, they go back to previous situations that happened. You in that Popeye's chicken bag in that Atlanta airport.
Bro, this was literally almost like verbatim the same situation, but a different scenario. Almost like 100%.
What happened in that Atlanta airport? Because it was very obvious on the video that old buddy came, started a fight with you, and then all of a sudden you ended the fight or whatever. And obviously, if you didn't see the video, the headline would be Adam Pac-Man Jones knocks out Atlanta airport employee in Atlanta airport. But really, the video showed you were innocent. The guy came up, started a fight with you. You did end it. You're saying that's why it's the same situation? Because he came up to start a fight with you, basically, and you ended it. Now you're the bad guy.
And what I'm saying is the fight had already started, Pat.
Oh, okay.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I turn around, they on the ground.
How many chairs?
They was throwing chairs, man. You know them bouncers strong as hell. I ain't have time to pick up no chair. I might have tried to grab one of them, but I got hit by one. I tell you that.
Did you eat it? You just ate the chair, huh?
I ate it. It's a light switch, but I do not like to get to those situations.
Pat, you think now this is probably not great to be joking about, but you did say you would fight anybody 169, 170. Is that something you think about getting into? Because it sounds, now media is reporting and obviously they're sensation. It sounds like you have lightning in your hands. Yeah. It does sound like that is the case. Now, I'm not 100% sure. And you also, incredible athlete, great work ethic. Have you ever thought about getting into maybe the boxing game or anything like that as all the people are kind of starting to get into it?
Well, I've been probably sparring just to make sure my hands was right for at least 4 or 5 years now. Smart. That was one of my key things. Why AJ know it. He seen me in the gym. Boxing was one of my key things to keep my hands quick when I'm jamming and stuff like that. But for the right number, yeah, I'll take it. Let's go. Line it up. I'm ready.
Who do you want to fight? Who'd be your first choice?
Training, I'll be ready.
Hey, you could beat the shit out of Jose Canseco from what I've seen. You could just beat the hell out of Jose Canseco from what I've seen. Pac, I appreciate...
I'll fight Jake Paul. If Jake Paul want to get down to 165, I'll beat Jake Paul fast.
Hey, he's been training like 3 years a day. He's big boy, too.
I don't give a fuck how long we've been training. If he get down to 165, I'll knock his ass out.
You might have to go up. He's big. Right? He's like 2...
No, he got to get down. I can't go up.
Oh, so you would have to come down.
I walk around at 175.
All right. Hey, I hope you get out of this, obviously. I hope the truth comes to light. I hope.
It will.
Okay, good news. And I can't thank you enough for joining us, man. Stay safe over there.
Love you, Pat. Love you, AJ.
Hey, we appreciate and love you too, man. Happy to hear you're okay, even after eating a goddamn chair to the head.
It happens sometimes,
That's a problem. That shouldn't happen. Hey, figure it out.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Pac-Man. I mean, that really is a thing too. With his, resume at a club, bouncer got kicked out. He said a week ago from his place. I mean, it felt like he potentially had a target on him as soon as he gets into a lot of different places. That Atlanta airport one, man, I don't know if we can find the video or not. He's walking with chicken and with his family.
Yeah.
With his family walking through the airport, and then all of a sudden you see like a worker walk by, and I think Pac even has headphones on, and he does like what was that? And then the guy he's like, whoa, 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 and just knocks the guy out, like on sight, knocked the guy out. It was just like out of nowhere. Just probably was passed out on the plane, just walks out, all of a sudden, boom, good night. I hope he gets acquitted in this entire thing. Sounds like a bunch of bullshit if you ask me.
Hey, if there's ever an athlete or a celebrity that should go into that celebrity boxing, I would imagine it's Pac-Man.
That is the guy. Yeah. I think he should get into real boxing, I'd assume. People forget that's one of the greatest athletes to ever exist. What he used to do on a football field, absurd, absolutely absurd. We had a Zoom call with a bunch of West Virginia players at the beginning of this quarantine. Just kind of everybody got in there. It felt like there was like 100 people in there. But it was basically Pac-Man holding court, like talking or whatever. And there was this offensive lineman, or maybe a linebacker. I guess it would have had to have been a linebacker, who said before games, Pac-Man would go through the program and see somebody that he thought was weak in their photo, just by their photo. And then during warm-ups, Pac would go out and just test the guy to see if he was right or not. And then all game, it was just like Pac-Man is in this guy, or he's like just baiting this guy. He was a hard-nosed, badass dude who obviously his stories have been documented, and everything he's been a part of obviously comes from a part of town that not many could ever understand. Gets a lot of money, still had, I think, a bad company around him at that particular point. I assume he's admitted to making a lot of terrible decisions, but it feels like as he's grown older here, he has tried to make it right almost, and he still finds himself in some favorable situations like this.
Yeah, one thing you mentioned, how good of an athlete he was and the things that he could do. A big reason why he was able to do this, because Pac was one of the hardest working dudes like I've ever seen. When you hear stories about like Michael Irvin would run full speed for 3 straight hours in practice. You hear stories, you're like, oh, I don't know, that could be true. But I got to watch Pac firsthand, like going every single day, like, okay, I'm going to cover AJ Green, and I don't want to let him catch a ball. And if he does catch a ball, I'm going to be super pissed. And he made everyone better. Like he honestly did. He made the rest of the team better because of how hard he would go and how he would hold himself to this super high standard, and you had to do the same.
He was awesome to watch when he was returning. And then Tennessee, they had him on offense a bunch. He was running end around. I mean, it was awesome to watch. Hell of a career, more than 10 years. Yeah. But the one I asked him about here, this is the Atlanta airport situation here. He's just walking. Oh, this is the end of it? This is the end of it.
Is it?
Yeah, this is the end of it.
Oh, no.
Bang, bang. That's his wife there, by the way. Just got off the plane. His wife's like, no, come on, we just dropped the chicken. We just got the ton. He's like, excuse me, babe, this guy wants some. Look how much bigger he is than Pac, by the way.
The reach.
Oh, man. Oh, he's going. He's going. Imagine the lights at the airport, by the way. What the fuck is going on? Is that Adam Pac-Man Jones? Oh, man. It started, though. You don't see the start of that thing in the video. He was walking. Old buddy comes over and just starts pushing him. It was
finger and face the whole time, too.
By the way, not sure that that's a guy you want to start a fight with, but I guess if you want to start a fight with somebody and then have it make news, that's probably the right guy to do it with. Big shout out to him coming on. I hope I hope the truth comes out. Whatever. I hope there's video. There has to be video evidence somewhere.
At least the tapes.
Has to be somewhere.
He didn't seem too worried.
He did not at all.
No. So,
and by the way,
that's probably a good sign.
He was driving his Rolls Royce, would have gotten a DUI if he was drunk. So there's a potential thought there that maybe that narrative shouldn't be one that's out there. Because I assumed this morning, as soon as I saw it, I was like, all right, he was obviously drunk at a club. Things like this happen. And he's like, I wasn't drinking a damn thing. Not at all, actually. I was trying to get a little love making music in the club.
Yeah.
Hey, my wife's here, my brother, we're just having a good time. And then turn around, your brother's like, whoa. Yeah. He's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Chairs.
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's his fault that he's the best in there?
Sometimes that's the problem when you have lightning in your hands, No one talks about it until...
Some people aren't ready for the storm.
That's right. That's right.
Let's get some phone calls. Mac in Virginia. What's going on, Mac?
Hey, how we doing, Pat and the boys?
Not too shabby. Much better than that bouncer was this morning. Oh, yeah. Dancing on his grave.
Yeah, so I just want to talk about how this fucking dumpster fire in Houston with the whole Easterby situation.
Yeah.
We might as well, be that as it may, go ahead and bring this thing full circle. I don't really know who's, running the chaplain services down in Tampa Bay, but clearly he's got the voice of the Lord over there with his team up for the win on Sunday. So,
are you saying that the chaplain for Tampa Bay is better than Easterby at this point? Because Easterby was the chaplain for the Patriots. They won a lot. Now this new chaplain down in Tampa with Tom Brady gets one in their first year together. That's a good call. Is Easterby sliding in the chaplain rankings? I'd say dramatically he is, and I would like to see who the top 5 Lord people are in the NFL at this particular point.
I think that may be a new thing, a new analytic that they're going to study. Like whatever teams are successful, the team's going to try to recruit away. What'd you call them? They're pastor guys?
Chaplain or Lord people.
Lord people, yeah. These Lord people are going to get recruited away and thrown like huge salaries to try to get them to come to your team if you have good luck with the Lord.
I mean, we will have to see how the Houston Texans shape up because that is their narrative. We will take the Lord guy from the Patriots. We'll put him into a position of power. This is potentially the blueprint for future Lord people around the NFL to get their hands on a franchise. I'll be excited to see how it plays out. Allegedly, Ian Rappaport told us Easterby definitely has seen what we have said about him. Would like to let Easterby know. God bless you, dude.
God bless.
Do you think there's any chance he's going to be like Tommy from Goodfellas and just like Cal come up to him and be like, I don't say fucking prayers no more? Like when he gets to the position where he's running the football team.
Easterby?
Yeah, I don't shine shoes no more. I don't say prayers no more.
Yeah, I don't do one fish, two fish no more.
I don't listen to your sins no more.
Hey, Jesus walked on water, but do you ever run a fucking franchise? That's what I thought. Let's go to Ed in Pennsylvania. What's going on, Ed?
Hey, Pat, boys, AJ, can you hear me?
Yep, yeah, absolutely. How you doing there, Ed?
Good, man. Happy President's Day. I'm off today, so I wanted to call in. I wanted to know your thoughts on Johnny Manziel. He's in this new fan-controlled football league, and apparently he had a pretty good game. I know Overreaction Monday is over, but is he back?
Ed, thank you for the question. And I did see some clips from the fan-crazed football. Marshawn Lynch dominated on the microphone. I thought there was a chance he was going to play in a game because he said he was going to eat this salad, Caesar salad with croutons. He's going to take a nice shit and get his stomach right, and then he's going to figure out how to rush for 200 on this 50-yard field. And then there was video surfacing on the internet of him in a full uniform, and I was like, okay,
here we go.
If they're going to get Marshawn Lynch playing in this arena league, kind of gimmicky arena league thing, I am in. I don't know if he played. We did see Johnny Manziel scamper for a long run, was running backwards at one point. Good to see Johnny Manziel back on a football field. Saw he scored a touchdown as well. SportsCenter Instagram did Johnny Manziel 0 favors. They had a 3-picture post. First one was his run, I believe. Second one was his interview where he said, hey, win or lose, the Zappers still booze, which I like. Okay, Johnny Manziel's feeling good about everything. He's having a good time. Said he enjoyed it. And then the last photo, it was like they zoomed in on how he did, basically to make him look bad. I mean, that is quite a shot at Johnny. He went 1 for 5, 11 yards, but he did rush for 68 yards and a tud. Johnny Manziel on a football field is a good thing, but I thought SportsCenter kind of took a very undeserved shot at the guy. I don't think he deserved his stats to be promoted like that as its own post.
What, did he only play one series? Like, how did he only have 5 attempts in an arena game?
Well, it's fan-crazed football. It's not arena football.
Yeah. So, okay, do they run the ball then in this arena ball?
None of us in here watched the game. We only saw the clips. This is on us for sure. But he looked good.
I saw Johnny's run, but then I think I read his comments too, and he said he's I realize I'm old and washed up or don't have it anymore, or whatever he said. But
I disagree, by the way.
Yeah. I want to see the game. Where were you able to watch it? Because I'm just curious how he's 1 for 5.
Twitter. I saw it on Twitter.
It was on
clips.
Twitch.
It was on Twitch, I believe. Yeah. Generated quite a conversation. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to potentially have Marshawn Lynch playing, I mean, I'm going to pay attention. Then when I realized he wasn't actually going to play, I was like, all right, I'm fucking out.
Yeah.
He's on the mic, though, just as good.
Keep him on the mic, guys. Put him in a primetime booth stat out there. Last call of the day here. Let's go to, you want to go Cincy, Oregon, Illinois, Michigan, Jacksonville, or Georgia?
Georgia.
I mean, Florida people. What's Jacksonville up to?
All right, let's give Logan in Jacksonville. What's up, bub?
Hey, Pat, I'm not overacting, but with the number 1 pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars will be taking number 1 on the field, number 1 in our heart, my guy, Kadarius Young-Joe Catoni.
All right, that call sucked.
Oh, it's
Who's Joe Catoni?
He was the one who we claimed was Tony's agent, so I believe he was calling back to make a joke on that.
Oh, it was a callback? Dude, we literally just saw it. I don't even remember. That's on me. Logan, I apologize. I missed it. But to be honest, I'm not sure that was your best attempt in the box. What was his name? Joe Catoni?
Apparently.
Kadarius
Tony.
Toney.
Kadarius Tony. And he called in before to ask about him. You were like, who cares?
Who is he, the wide receiver?
Yeah.
Oh, the Florida guy. Kid's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's not going to be a number 1 overall pick, but that kid is unbelievable. Urban Meyer's making all the right moves down there. What was that, AJ?
You got to deal with a lot, man. Your first month in the job.
Hey, man, you're not a dictator anymore. Like, you know, you have to answer to some people at this point.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Players, by the way, most of them. Hey, how about this, pal? Fuck you. Can't say that. I'll kick you out of here to take your scholarship. No, you won't. I'm owed more money than you are over the next fucking 5 years. How about that, pal? Interesting how Urban Meyer's going to handle this. This entire year, he's going to be talked about as a incredible college coach who couldn't make it in the NFL like Nick Saban, or incredible college coach who was able to make it in the NFL. I'm excited to see. I don't think we should judge anything until it happens. 10 seconds left until Chris Mad Dog Russo, Mad Dog Unleashed, is on the other side. We can't thank you enough. Be safe out there. The weather's about to be terrible. Have a good one. We'll see you mañana, hopefully. Hey, this drive home for me is about to be terrible. I guess there's already a couple accidents. I don't know if I'm going to make it.
Don't you have your truck?
Yeah, but that doesn't stop ice, dude.
You can drive in anything, man. What, is it your first snowfall?
It's not that.
This
It's the
show's
fucking
over.
highway. It's the highways piled up.
This fucking guy, dude. What's your deal, bro?
You'll be all right, man. It's not like you're in Texas right now. Try to be those people in Texas. They don't have a way to get rid of the snow.
I know. By the way, nobody has any way to get rid of the ice. You can lay that salt down. I guess it's going to do the thing. The truck on ice is worse. And also, it's not just me on the road, pal. If it's just me driving on that back road back in the country where you live or whatever, no problem at all. We got highways with 10-car pileups already happening out here.
All right, take the back roads home. Believe me, I know about ice. I got my lawnmowers. It got in my yard and rolled all the way down the hill into my fence and was stuck there for 2 days. I had to get Chopper to help me pull it out with his truck. And then I had to pull his truck out with my truck.
Have you guys ever had a snowfall before, dude?
Well, I was plowing the driveway. I got my John Deere zero-turn Z-Track, and it was just super icy.
You put
I don't have
chains on the
my
tire?
back tires, but I need them.
Got to put chains on tires.
Yeah, and some weight, too. Don't be scared to put a little weight down there.
A couple sandbags in the trunk.
You know what I mean? Maybe learn how to drive in the snow, pal.
I was on my driveway, bro. It was full of ice.
You didn't even make it to the highway that we're about to drive on. You couldn't even get out of your fucking driveway, and you're telling us that we don't know how to drive on this highway that has a 10, 15-car pileup right now?
Come on.
Wow.
I was not driving my lawnmower on the main roads. I'm not talking about that. I can handle my truck on the road.
Well, yeah, if you're driving like it's a goddamn crash-up derby and you don't care if you're just sliding in and smacking other cars, none of us want to do that.
Because he doesn't own the car, by the way. He'll get a new truck tomorrow because he's an Ohio State legend from dealership.
You don't get it, AJ.
We got to buy cars over here, pal. Okay? We don't lease them either. We buy them outright. We know they devalue.
A lot of them don't even work, and you have to hibernate all winter out in your driveway and be frozen.
A lot of people have car museums.
A lot of them have outside. A lot of people buy like the nicest cars they can, most expensive, and then they park them outside and let them get 6 inches of ice on them.
Yeah, it's a new business plan. We'll see how it works. See if anybody will get the tickets. Come stop by. I hope Pac is acquitted, by the way.
Yeah.
I would assume a lot of people are going to hear what he just said.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably already potentially.
There has to be footage. Like, there's going to have video come out.
He said he split them up, okay? And then there was already
melee.
Still going.
He just did what he had to do.
Hey, are we sure about this? What if he looked around at everybody that was fighting? Are we sure about this? Yeah?
Okay.
Okay.
Fine.
Dead. Kick him on the way down. Dead. Sleep. Night.
See ya.
Ambien. Advil PM. Motrin PM. I'm going to go in my Rolls Royce and I'm going to leave. Okay? I did what I had to do. Cops come blocking them in. Mr. Jones, are you drunk? No, I'm driving a Rolls Royce. It's like a $300,000 car. No, I wouldn't drive that drunk. Did you just knock out 4 people? Yeah. Coming with us. Jail time, pal. What do you want him to do?
It's getting screwed.
What's he supposed to do? Lose the fight? Is that the thing? Like, lose the fight?
Go ahead, knock me out.
Nobody else went to jail but him. They fight, like, you know what I mean? Even if the video doesn't come out, he had to be fighting somebody. You think Pac-Man just crow-hopped, blindsided a sober? You think he just blindsided a guy for no reason? That's interesting. That's an interesting theory that they're potentially working with right now.
Yeah, if let's say Pac started to get involved in the fight and then he gets blindsided, would they still take him in?
Would the other guy went to jail? That blindsided Pac-Man, or you know what I mean? That's
very interesting.
Very interesting. Very interesting. So what are we saying? This, by the way, is America in 2021. Lose fights. You know what I mean?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, you win fight, go to jail. Okay? You didn't start it, but you won it. Jail time. You lose this fight, hero.
You can press charges against his ass if you'd like.
Hey, you want his Rolls Royce? We'll give you his Rolls Royce.
Jeez. Despicable.
It is. I hope that's what happened now.
Clutch better release the tape.
What if he was just bouncing around, just crow hopping? Bang, 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 pow, bang.
It's like that VR game.
What if he did a fucking Corvette, by the way? Corvette on his way out. See ya. That'd be awesome.
No.
That would be a good video.
I hope they have that clip. I hope that if that's what happened. How about the video of him lighting all the jerseys on fire? When was that? That was a couple months ago.
Joey.
I don't fucking play that.
That was one of my favorite videos he had. He was so mad.
Who sent this shit? Fucking gasoline. He's a legend, dude. Okay, I don't know what's going to happen with this one. I believe Pac-Man. I would like everybody to know that I believe him, especially after I've gone out with him before in the past. I believe him. But 10, 15, 20 years from now, how will people talk about him?
Yeah.
He used to just fucking knock people out. He was electric. One of the best football players of all time, by the way. Played like how many years at DB?
10, 11?
12 maybe, yeah.
Maybe 13. Yeah. He was playing a long time.
Would he have like 2 fair catches in his whole career or something?
Yeah, that was something he never did.
Drafted in 2005.
He missed a year, right? Didn't he have to sit out a year?
2 of them.
Oh, jeez. Hey, he broke his neck too. Like I think I've said it on the show back in the day. Like he broke his neck and came back from that.
Yeah, you don't want to fight a guy that broke his neck and then came back to play football. Legend. That bouncer, by the way, that bouncer.
Man, they love him too. Remember the crowd in Cincy when he showed up? They went off.
We thought about asking Chris Collinsworth to come on the show because he was from the area, and I actually said we reached out to Chris, couldn't get anything back from him. The crowd booed him and then cheered that we couldn't get back. And then when Adam came out from the back there, that place went bananas. I mean, absolutely bananas. He said that's why it's home, by the way. These people I like this place. This is home. I guess the bouncer didn't feel the exact same way.
Apparently not.
How cool would that bouncer feel? I bet just moments before getting knocked out. Oh, I'm going to fucking get him. Pac-Man Jones about to be mine. Night. You think Pac-Man's in that Oculus at all?
Oh,
He's on
should be.
He's on the heavy bag, I think.
He said for the last 5 years
I was
he's
going
been
to say
doing
he's been training.
I'll fight any celebrity, by the way. I ain't scared.
But the best is 169 to 170. I'm like, well, we got a tight, slim margin here for who you can fight now.
I think he meant 165 to 170, but him saying 169 to 170 was hilarious. And saying this, everybody else had to come down there. I can't go up there. You got to come down here. I hope he does, by the way. It would be nice to see him box. I would like to see him box, I think.
There'd be a lot of people, like, who would be a good opponent, though? Is there someone that he has, like, a beef with publicly that would be about his same size?
Maybe this bouncer. Let's get this bouncer in there. Let's line up the bouncer and then the airport employee and just have them go back to back. You know what I mean? Just walk out there.
Hey, he went up to that airport employee, though. That guy was much bigger than him.
He was doing the whole... By the way, there's one particular fighter in the thrill of the fight. His name's Spider. Oh. He's a big, tall son of a bitch. You do got to do the same thing. Hey, Usman, by the way, fucking animal, dude.
Pretty good, huh?
Greatest fighter in his division of all time.
That's right.
Better than GSP. Broke his record.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what I was told.
Mm-hmm.
He's unbelievable. Yeah. He likes to take him into the deep end, too. That's why I knew it was going to be third or fourth round. You know what I mean? If it makes it a fifth, I lose. But he likes to take him into the deep end. He likes to get him a little bit tired and then beat the shit out of him. You know that, AJ?
What he did, yeah. Gilbert Burns even said after the fight, once I like rocked him, I went for the kill, and that's what got him beat, he said.
In the prelims, I did lose a fight, a bet as well. I had Vieira, who I didn't even know existed. Okay, I didn't even know this guy existed. On the prelims, they were showing him an entire montage. 7-0, world jiu-jitsu champion out of Brazil. He actually has turned down numerous world championships so he could train to fight or whatever. And they were talking about, and the guy he was fighting, Henderson from America, massive underdog, like minus 450, minus 500 is what this Vieira guy was. I was like, all right, I'll put a little something on a first round knockout or TKO. He had this dude in some sort of choke. He had him pretty locked in the first maybe minute or two of the first round. I'm like, fucking A, I just made a couple $1,000 off this dude. The American survived, and Vieira was very tired. He went for it, and he was dead. And this dude, Henderson, I think is his name, he taped his earrings. He had tattoo all over his chest. He knocked this son of a bitch out, and then he choked out the greatest jiu-jitsu guy on planet Earth, and that's how he ended the whole thing. It was pretty cool for America. Not great for my bank account, but I enjoy watching those fights. I don't know any of them, though. It'd probably help me if I knew a little bit more about some of them while I'm betting on them. You know what I mean?
You knew what happened, though. You knew like how big of a deal it was that he submitted a guy that is, considered one of the best like jiu-jitsu guys.
Well, Cormier was like, you should get to his feet on the side, basically, because he was knocking him with these big shots, and then he would go down, sprawl, and then he would start trying to choke him out and everything like that. And Cormier's like, basically saying like, hey, you should just let him get back up and just throw, because the guy did seem to be rather bad at the, like you remember, only us historians of mixed martial arts understand that when Gracie came in and he was fighting 400, 500 pounders, 250, he had his gi on, and he was just like a boa constrictor wrapping around these big stooges that are trying to throw the bombs and choking them out. And they're like, holy shit, this guy was basically the same thing. He could not really, there wasn't much going on. And then every time he got shot, it was like a good night. He was ripped too, had like a 10-pack. Cormier was like, too many muscles, that's why he's tired. Too many muscles. I enjoy Rogan, DC, and what's
John Anik.
Anik, yeah. I think they do really well.
Yeah, I think Anik's really good. He stepped in for remember Mike Goldberg, who used to be there, a very excitable guy. Did you ever watch back then?
Mm-hmm.
He was a Here We Go guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, I fucking know. Nobody ever gives me but I know, okay? I know.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. I mean, you talked about the Gracie family. Yeah, you're an expert.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I mean.
Aficionado, I should say. Aficionado.
Thank you. And imagine if that Vieira guy gets that win in the first. I made $10,000 off of the fights.
Yeah,
that guy,
sharp.
You know what I mean? I'm all of a sudden a sharp, just like the heads tails thing.
Yeah.
I'm getting there. Hammer Don is a podcast that happens out of this office. It was previously recorded. You can download that for all the bets for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow. Massive show tomorrow.
Huge.
Who do we think is going to be on tomorrow? AJ, anybody good?
Yeah, I think. Didn't you reach out? Michael Jordan possibly might be coming. Is that right?
That's what I heard.
Tiger, isn't Tiger coming on the 2:00 hour?
Tiger's definitely not coming on.
Why? We defended the documentary here.
We did, but I've already had to meet with his people about what a conversation would look like between us, and the timing did not work.
What do you mean the timing?
You would get like 15 minutes at this particular time in the day because he's got his morning this, and then you also got this, and this. He's Tiger fucking Woods. They had a lot of. It was like in that Elvis documentary where Elvis, his people were given the president things that they can talk about and can't talk about, and the president was giving Elvis's people things he can't talk about, and then they go in there. That's what it felt like, but I was neither of those. I was just somebody listening to what all couldn't be talked about or couldn't happen and when it could happen, and I said I can't set the precedent here, even though it's Tiger Woods. Probably should have, by the way. Probably should have just done it.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been tough. That's a tough one to handle, I feel like, because there's no, Tiger doesn't need to. He has no reason to put himself out there and have to deal with, he knows you wouldn't. I mean, I would assume they understand you wouldn't put him in a weird spot.
His people did not know me. No. The conversation was very obvious that they had no clue who I was. They were doing somebody a favor to have the conversation with me, is how it went. And it was very interesting, by the way. It was because the entire time they're talking to me, AJ, I got away like, this is Tiger fucking Woods. Yeah. But then, you know, like Peyton comes on, it's like, do whatever the fuck you want to do. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like a very interesting, and those two, by the way, very good friends. So I would assume, you know, I don't know. I should have done it. It's Tiger Woods. I mean, that's pretty dope.
I mean, if Tiger didn't have all of the allegations and situations back, 2009, 2010, like then he probably wouldn't be too worried about it, would he?
Yeah, but what am I going to do? Lead off with it? Yeah. Hey, that the knowledge you had.
If they don't know you though, they just think, hey, who's this shock jock guy going to come out here? He wants to get me.
Shock jock.
Not you. I'm saying they could assume that's who you are if they had never watched or seen anything you do.
I only have one enemy, and that's Raiders beat. And I do believe I might have. Cody from the Raiders is saying that it was not him. Maybe I don't know. He cut a promo. I guess it was pretty average, but I do want to let everybody. I don't know if I hate that guy or not. We would do more research. I thought the way the situation was handled by said Raiders fan was bullshit, though. I would like to let that. I was having a great Valentine's Day, and then all of a sudden I just got that negativity in my life. I don't need it. I don't need it at all.
Just like Pac-Man.
Don't need it. He was just trying to listen to a little love.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What was it? Jaquez, he said?
Mm-hmm.
Do we know who that is?
Nope.
I wish I did. Normally I'm pretty good at that. I could have just went into like maybe a little, and he would have, yeah. I didn't know nothing. I saw Jaquez. I was like, the baby? Okay, no. Little baby? No. Sure. Okay. Don't know Jaquez, but probably should, I guess. Seems
Slow
like
jam bangers.
R&B over there.
Yeah.
Oh, we making love out here. Now we know. I'm going to sip this Cavalier right here. What is love? What is this longing for togetherness? Is it not the sweetest flower?
Do you like it in the bud?
All right.
Is that Ladies Man?
Yes, that is the Ladies Man.
That one of your favorites?
Lance, you try oiling me up. That's not cool.
Paul Kowarski came after us. We got Titans people coming after us.
Jeez.
What? Why?
You opened it up because you let them in. Like you let it bother you so much. I feel like you open it up for people to come after.
No. This one's about the interview I did with Pac-Man. Said that he's playing the victim as usual, and said, Pat, you were way better than that, I was told.
Thanks for watching, Paul.
No, he just watched the clip. I don't think he's watching the actual show.
Wait, better than what?
Better than, hold on, let me see here. Let me get it. Well, law enforcement shouldn't even go ahead with the case after the incredibly thorough job Pat McAfee Show did with Pac-Man. As usual, Pac is the victim. What a joke. Pat, you are way better than that. Am I? What'd I do? What has led people to believe that I'd be way better than having a conversation with Pac-Man the day after? I think that's a miscalculation. I'm not way better than that. And by the way, if the bouncer would like to come on and tell his story, he is not welcome. That is biased journalism. I'll be excited to see how the facts roll out in this entire case. Hey, I don't know if I deserve that though. But I got people coming after me now.
We missed that day in journalism school again.
Well, that's the thing about our journalism is, whenever we're doing this for a couple years, we're everybody's favorite, And then as that thing starts to, kind of Dogecoin before Elon buried it this morning, in Bitcoin and AMC and GameStop, things start to change by some people, Don't they worry, though, because just like those, we will. We will come back down.
Should die the hero.
Don't you worry about that. Yeah. Yeah, instead of live long enough to become the villain.
Yeah.
I watched Batman this weekend.
Ooh.
It was on. I watched a lot this weekend.
Yeah. How many movies and shows did you watch this weekend?
All of them, man. I watched NASCAR.
No football.
There's no football, dude. I tried to watch the fan craze football clips. All the clips did not drive me to go watch it, but I will keep up with it throughout the season here. Congrats to everybody that's playing football professionally now because of the fan-controlled football. I am excited about that. Elisa Lamb, did you learn about her at the Cecil Hotel?
I have not seen that yet. Is it good?
It should be about half an episode long. but they really drag it out 4 full episodes where, towards the end of the 4th, you go, oh, we could have wrapped this up maybe 4 fucking episodes ago if we really wanted to. So that kind of happens, but it's a nice little. The Sinner, I finished The Sinner. The Britney Spears thing is alarming. Now, I did not remember everything going the way that they said it did, but I was in high school when that was happening, so maybe I misremembered some things, but that was terrible to kind of see what Britney's going through.
How about the weirdest thing? Obviously, they said how weird it was, like how the media would come at her like in one-on-one interviews. She was doing some big press conference, and the dude asked if she was still a virgin. Like now, wouldn't you get? I mean, you could never do that. I felt like.
By the way, watching that and as a 33-year-old dude, okay, and when I was watching Britney, it was whenever we were in high school. Like I believe I've talked about this. My generation, I think, was the Britney Spears generation. Looking back on it now, as a teenager, 16, 17, with the way things were going and the way things were being said by adults, it's very, very, it's like, all right, like if other high schoolers are talking that way, okay, like that's not great, by the way, but it's the way adults were speaking. It's like, now that I'm I'm the age of some of the people that were probably saying some of the dumbest things of all time. It's like, you guys really fucked this one up with Britney.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that whole situation is wild. Terrible. It is wild. It's nowhere near over, I was told by a lot of Britney fans, by the way. Still under a conservatorship, which I learned a lot about through that documentary. Normally only happens for the olds, whenever they can't control their funds anymore. There's a lot of shit going on. I hope she gets free, though, but it was alarming to watch that doc.
Have you ever seen her Instagram lately?
That's a large part of the doc.
Is it? Okay, see, I saw some of Is there 2 parts?
I don't know. I
got to find it again. I only saw the first 30 minutes or so. But
it's called Framing Britney, I believe, is what it's called. And the Instagram is a large part of it.
I know people in the area here are fans of her Instagram and love watching her. People that are big Britney fans and they see what she's doing, they're like, wow, she's really putting herself out there, huh?
Well, it's all, no spoilers here, but she's potentially reaching out for help via her Instagram. Yeah.
Her sister came out and said there's more to the story than anybody could ever imagine.
Good or bad, she's on her side, right?
Yeah, was forced to cut off contact with her.
I guess the dad's a real jackass.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I've never met the man, obviously. But watching from the way I watch, seems like he is a real problem in this whole thing.
I think we're all right to say that we'll be on that side.
Well, I'm better than that.
We should have the dad.
Who thought I was? What does that mean, by the way? Like, I like Paul Kowarski, by the way. I'm a big Paul Kowarski guy.
I think you want to do interrogate him.
I'm not a fucking.
Yeah.
What am I? Am I the sinner?
Walter Cronkite, Jesus.
Am I Fitzy or Solly Donner?
Night court.
Oh, come on. What am I supposed to do?
Did he not want you to have him on at all? Like, why are you giving this guy a platform? It wasn't that, was it?
Well, I didn't.
That's
I wasn't
exactly
the one,
what it is.
I wasn't the one that gave him a platform today. You know who did? All the tabloids.
Yeah.
All the headlines. They're the one. I'm just like, hey, might as well get his side of this whole thing too, because friends with the guy and this is something that should happen. We only hear one side of it. Sorry, Paul. I like Paul a lot, but I'm not better than that. I don't know. I feel like I'm doing the right thing. I'm helping get the other side of the story. Maybe a little journalistic integrity is something that I'm learning and trying to hear the other side of. I'm not better than that, but maybe this particular case, I'm better than I've ever been. Huh. I can't do it on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you've never done that on YouTube.
One time.
I was joking.
Listen, just because you're a dope head over here.
Yeah,
jeez. Just because you're blowing through 6 cigars a day.
Fake cigars.
Remember when all you guys used to try to tell me that your feed was getting strikes or getting taken down because I was smoking a cigar?
Yeah, you're rampant tobacco use.
It was, and it did, and we had to reach out to YouTube. Mm-hmm. Dear YouTube, please stop punishing us because our Ohio friend continues to saw down cigars every day.
Well, thank you, YouTube, for taking care of us then.
All right, time to get out of here.
Apparently TMZ quoted you.
Good luck, guys. I hope you make it.
TMZ quoted me? Oh, fuck.
An update?
Is it that I'm better than that?
No, I think just...
Is everybody saying I'm better than that? Because I appreciate that, everybody thinking I'm better than... I'm not, by the way. I don't know if I am. What are we supposed to do? Everybody's going to cut. These Raiders people are coming after me. I mean, a lot of Raiders not coming after me. A lot of Raiders fans saying, insert name of guy here. Mm-hmm.
That's
oh,
good.
Boy. AJ, you're in there, too. I want to you on the front screen of TMZ right now. I want to let you know that is currently happening right now, yeah. That's By the way, you're much more visible than I if you see the face.
Huh.
Oh, okay.
You're better than that, AJ.
Better than that, AJ.
Come on, AJ.
Come on, AJ.
AJ, scumbag.
Should I ask him? Should I ask TMZ to crop me out of that picture because I'm better than that?
Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah, like, guys, I'm sorry. That was a mistake. I should not have been involved in that. I should not have asked Pac-Man one question. You can cut me out.
All right, let's get out of here.
Good luck. Hey, good luck on that treacherous ride home.
Probably shouldn't. I should smoke CBD, get the muscles a little loose.
Oh, yeah.
This drive home's going to be a long one.
Yeah.
My wife is watching. See you in a few hours, okay? It's supposed to be a 3-hour tour. See how this goes. Maybe we'll be back manana. It's supposed to get real bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Probably right now. Every minute that passes, it's getting worse.
Yeah.
We should get out of here.
Hey, did you see Texas? They're like having to shut down people's power.
Rolling blackouts.
Mm-hmm.
Like an Entourage in the valley when it was real hot.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
So are those houses not going to have heat?
Aquaman. What's that?
Will some of those houses not have heat then for big chunks of time?
It is not fun. Tease and peace for everybody in Texas, by the way. We have a large listener base in Texas, by the way. Large. Makes no sense to us. Big in California, big in Texas. We appreciate you so much. I assume you're going to be home for the next couple of days because Mother Nature's coming in, with a couple Pac-Mans. But, everybody needs to, stay warm, stay healthy out there.
Yeah.
I've had this happen where the power's gone out. I've had to lay down in a sleeping bag in front of a fireplace in my house. It is no fun. I hope that is not happening in Texas. We are pulling for everybody. If I would say anything, though, get some kindling.
Get some kindling.
There's a reason a caveman asked for fire.
That's right.
Gets real chilly out there. They're right, AJ.
Good luck finding some salt. I've been to 9 different hardware stores just trying to get some salt for my driveway.
Yep, it's gone.
I had to go get some dog-friendly
Even harder to find.
salt yesterday. Yeah, there was only 2 left on the entire thing. It was down at the end. I had to reach to the back of it.
Damn.
I got them all first.
You went to my Ace?
Yeah.
Don't go to my
Love that place.
Don't go to my Ace.
My people in there.
It's a good place. Ace has everything, by the way. Ace is the place.
It's a helpful hardware store.
It's a good Ace, too. Will you stop it?
I legit did leave 2 on the shelf in there. I was like, someone else needs some.
Wow.
I got them.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Stay out of my fucking Ace, though.
They still got
It's a
popcorn
good
in
Ace.
Oh, yeah, and ice cream.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This particular Ace hardware is.
Might be my new Ace.
Yeah, it is. It's a good Ace, and it's got an entire landscaping thing out in the back with. It is beautiful, right around the corner from the house.
Hardware and garden center.
Yeah, they do. They do have garden center out there. It's right next to Walgreens. Go over there if you want to buy some last-second Valentine's Day gifts, just in case your delivered ones didn't show up until maybe Tuesday or Wednesday.
Sure.
Happens.
This is the best. I just like sitting here and watching you sign off for the last 15 minutes. I just love what pops up.
St. Connor on comment section in YouTube says, "You're better than that" is basically, I already made up my mind that he is guilty and you shouldn't give him a platform, a.k.a. Stooge, says that Connor.
There we go.
Paul Kowarski's not Stooge. All right, I met Paul Kowarski, but in Tennessee and Nashville, I assume there's been maybe a little bit of history between Paul and Pac there, which, by the way, is what Pac was saying about the bouncer, too, in that particular situation. So,
I do believe Pac-Man's godmother and Paul Kowarski got into it at one point as well.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, there's a long history here.
Nick's been doing a little research here.
Kowarski.
Trying. There's a lot going on.
By the way, Adam Pac-Man Jones, I think he would say that he's a much different person than the person he was whenever he was in Nashville. Had to grow up, learn a lot, go through a lot of things to get there. Maybe they'll be able to put their swords aside as well.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Maybe Pac will have Paul on his show.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
See who's better than what. You're better.
I didn't know Paul Kowarski was a guy you actually knew. I thought it was just a random Twitter person.
He covered the Titans. He was pretty good. He was good. Comedic.
Oh, did you follow? You actually follow him? You've known his stuff?
Yeah. We've known each other a long time. We've done some things together, he and I, media-wise. Paul was saying I'm better than that. I appreciate his thoughts on me, but
As a friend, okay. I was wondering why you weren't getting more upset at that person. So you actually know them. And so they're like, oh no, you're like my brother, Pat. I feel like I need to mentor you. You are much better. Do not do this in the future.
yeah, I guess. I don't know, but that's not how I operate. So he doesn't know me that well. You know what I mean?
Just silence. Should we just silence everybody then?
Well, in his bio, he says he's a Springsteen addict, so maybe he saw you saying that.
John Bond?
John Bond was better.
Ty, you and Paul, you guys got problems with what I say now?
No, I don't. I mean, shit, the boss was right. Sounds like a similar situation, you know? It
How
really
come? Yeah,
does.
how come he can look at what happens with the boss?
Whoa.
So
Interesting.
Huh.
maybe think about that.
Selective journalism.
Thought you were.
You're better than that, Paul.
You're way
Did
better than that,
Paul did Paul report on the boss's alleged DUI?
I'll find out.
Now that would not be something he would ever talk about in his Tennessee Titans coverage. Yeah. But
okay. But the boss, he's played a halftime show at the Super Bowl, right? He could tie it into some kind of sports thing.
By the way, Tom Petty doesn't get talked about. He had a great halftime show.
When was that?
2007. Anybody?
Okay. Yeah, I'm big
Don't
Tom
recall.
Petty fan.
He had to. I was, on some potential things, and he had a stage that had a tie-dye. It was almost like a hypnotized thing. It was pretty cool. I remember it like it was yesterday. I did not know the boss had a halftime.
Oh, I don't know if he did or not.
The boss had a halftime Super Bowl?
Of course he did.
You don't know. You don't know.
I don't know
Oh,
what year, but
my.
of course the boss has done the halftime at the Super Bowl.
100% certain of that?
100% certain. Fucking Tony, look it up.
2008 was Tom Petty.
2008.
You're not going to believe this. The boss did 2009.
2009.
That was
Pat. Boom.
Wasn't I in the 2000?
Yeah, weren't you there?
You were probably slugging beers
Steelers
with the
cards, I
fucking
think.
boss. Never mind.
It was
Okay.
the year. It was 2010 then. No.
2009 season, 2010 Super Bowl.
Probably why.
He was 2008. That was 2007 Super Bowl.
Yeah. Look at that.
Wow.
Wow. Still got it.
Fucking, that's what I'm talking about. I am better than that, dude. Still got it.
Suck it, Paul.
No, like Paul. Listen,
Sorry.
Paul's got some
Got ahead
obviously
of myself there.
personal feelings about this. We'll be back tomorrow, maybe. Don't know if we're gonna be able to get home. Don't know if we're gonna be able to get here in the morning. Hope everybody's safe. T's and P's. Stay warm. I might be in the Oculus Arena. There's already shit coming through the ceiling.
Oh, no.
Oh, great.
Infected.
Might as well drop some sleeping bags down and sleep with the boys there tonight.
Well, there's actually a Pacers Bulls game right down the road that we do potentially have tickets to if we really wanted them, because the Bulls like us a lot more than the Pacers do. Bulls are in town. They're offering us basically whatever we want. It is within walking distance if we had to. Maybe a snowmobile or sled down there. We could call this a night, but also had a great Valentine's Day with the wife. You know, we'd like to potentially go back and see our statue that we made and everything like that. So maybe get in the Oculus Arena up there.
Unfortunately, yeah, you're probably not going to be able to make it. That truck is just not going to be able to drive through those 2.5 inches of snow you've got.
That's for sure. Everybody, we'll see you tomorrow. Everybody stay safe, huh?
What's the weight in the back of that thing?
I'm gonna put in 4 low. Okay, let's not get 4 L.
Here we go.
All right, that thing ain't gonna be able to go that quick, but I'm gonna make it home. But what's gonna happen when I come up to a part of the road that has 75 cars crashed and I'm just parked there for the next 3 hours?
Go over top of them.
I had to go 4L this morning. I carpooled with Zeke.
Hell
Had
yeah.
to drop it down real low to get moving.
Well, I was the weight. I was the weight for you.
Yeah, but that would help.
Yeah.
You didn't drive here this morning?
No.
You want to get in the trunk?
Hell yeah.
Getting home, baby. All right, I'll
Hey,
see
put
you,
a
AJ.
why don't you put a snowmobile in the back of your truck? I'm sure you have 2 of them that sit in your garage.
That is the one thing I have not gotten into, although I've heard that it is awesome. It is. I've heard snowmobiles are awesome. I also I will this weekend probably get a chance to get on a jet ski because I've seen it's available, but I've not bought a jet ski either because of my lifelong fear of water with my ears. But now that my ears are healed or whatever, I'll probably get in the jet ski game at some point. But snowmobiles I've heard are awesome. They're just dirt bikes but on snow, right?
Exactly. You have the amphibious thing, don't you?
Yeah, that thing stinks. It does sink.
Where are you going this weekend?
I'm going to warm weather.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
We're off on Friday, by the way.
Okay. I figured that. You told me that last week.
It is official, though, now.
Good luck. You've never been on a jet ski?
No, I have, yeah, but I've never bought one.
Oh, wait, you're going to potentially go to a warm weather climate for vacation and buy one?
Yes.
Yep. Probably fucking bring it back up the coast.
Because I'm better than that.
Get a dry suit on, drive it on up here in the water.
Through the Mississippi.
Oh, yeah.
I have jumped jet skis before, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Woof. Woof.
That's scary.
Anytime you fall off, you automatically assume a great white shark is going to eat you and kill you.
Yeah.
Get back up, get back up.
Wow, I got him. I've never swam as fast as I have when I fell off a jet ski in the Gulf of Mexico.
Get on the back.
What's that?
It's much easier to get on the back.
Yeah. I think AQ and I were on some one time in the Gulf of Mexico, and we went out so far, like they tell you you're only allowed out so far. We ran into a random boat, had a beer with them.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
It was pretty cool. And then we had to come all the way back, and they sent their search party out for us and the whole thing. We're jumping these big-ass waves. They thought we were drug mules. It was awesome. It was really, I love jet skis. I do. I'm a big fan, but I won't buy one. Snowmobile is next if this weather is going to continue because of what you disgusting humans have done to this planet.
Hell yeah.
Gross. Greta's fighting the good fight for us, right?
Yeah.
I would like to let it be known. It is hard to believe that something is, potentially going to happen because whenever they say this is the blah, 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 coldest, warmest since, and then they give a date in the way past, I'm like, okay, so it's not the coldest or the worst it's ever been. As soon as everything starts becoming, hey, this is the most that we've ever seen, this is the this we've ever seen, then I'm going to be like, time to panic. All right, everybody panic. The only refund will be escaping this death trap with your lives is whenever I hear like this is the most snow since 1920, whatever, I'm like, okay, they made it in the 1920s. They didn't even have the internet. All right.
Yeah.
So now, you know what I mean, AJ? That's just kind of how I view things.
I've never thought of it that way, but it does make a lot of sense.
Like, this is the hottest it's been since 1917. I'm like, okay, so we have been here before. We have been here before. Now, they survived. Will we? Who knows? But then as soon as it starts getting like, this is the most amount of blah, blah, blahs we've ever had, it's like, okay, all right.
Especially if it's like this is the most we've had 3 years in a row.
Yeah, boom, stacking on top of each other. And it's like, all right, okay, maybe put the trucks down. You know what I mean? But if this snow is going to continue, I will get a snowmobile.
I just found one for $4,000 in Speedway.
That's what I'm talking about. Facebook Marketplace?
Yeah.
Those are dependable.
Nice. Here we go.
Used?
Maybe back tomorrow with snowmobile. Maybe that's how we get to work. All right, 3:30. See ya. Cheers. Goodbye. See you tomorrow. Everybody stay safe. See ya, Jake.
Will you hit record again? So we can just do the intro and the close real quick.
Bill Gates said yesterday, 30 years. That's what we got.
That's what I'm saying.
30 years to figure it out.